left off, you kill the cool whale. Uh, Mysterious glow under Gulmid. Solving that, and Riley getting a new ability, a new sort of photofluorescent coral growing on the hilt of Tempest Retort. You pieced it out of Gulmid, traveling to Thane to try to tie up a few loose ends. Um, Following the trail laid out by some of the dead of Lipat. Uh, one thing I forgot happened. The Buckhead showed up again on that trail and did some dropped a couple cryptic messages as it is wont to do. Happy fun times continuing on. You've entered the crime city proper using the passcode. Wander around for a bit. Some of you astutely spotting that a couple of ne'er-do-wells are tailing you a little bit, watching you a little bit. Some of them stealthily, some of them overtly. And saved somewhat by a leprechaunish man by the name of Rickard Rollins, who gave you a sort of guided tour, being one of the few friendly-ish people, seemingly, in the city, at least on Ponfer's contact. Give or take an hour or two, meeting up with, heading to the Piss Pit, firstly, is the first stop. Talking to a sort of bookish tiefling that was there, Zero. You relayed a message that you're in town, Telsail. And the tour continues. You visit a couple of choice locations, finding a Silverwind-owned warehouse with seemingly some voices, desperate pleas, and more or less last words, sort of just peeking out between the boards of the building, guarded by two people, burly-looking people, but people, headed to the... Oh god, what was it? The hotel's name? The upper echelon. With a very suspiciously friendly and elegant interior, with a sort of like a tiefling plus at the helm of it, who offered you to stay, which you refused upon seeing the 50-page contract you would have to sign. And leaving, Rickard sort of leaves you in the shit-encrusted streets of Lipat, where a sort of grizzled startup half-elf woman, plate armor all the way down, just coated in furs, and a very sturdy-looking warhammer at the side, tells you that Warren Rexun would like to speak with you.
So to recap, Warren was what Rickard had described as the most approachable one, or the least approachable one, but he's also the most reasonable.
Integral, I think.
Yeah, he described, so there's, Warren, Bella, Horace, and Weskin, the father of all the former three. He described Horace being kind of erratic in behavior. Bella being friendly, up close, at least, but apparently she has a history of maneuvering. But Warren seemingly, who seems to run the place, according to him, is more or less, he'll keep his word, seemingly. So take that as integrity, take that as good business practice. Who knows?
Wait, what was the name of the old guy, the father?
Weskin Rexun.
Okay, Weskin.
Weskin, Warren, Bella, Horace. Yeah, but you are currently surrounded by 9, 10, dozen or so people, including the startup half-elf. What would you like to do, if anything? Want to piece it? Want to kill everybody in sight?
I'll say, show us the way.
All right. Cool. With that, the half-elf doesn't really acknowledge the words, simply just turns and begins walking in a direction. You all follow, I'm assuming?
No reason not to.
Yes.
Okay. Shit, the cops, they all scatter in the alleys.
Oh yeah, that was my end.
Yeah, but the dozen or so people, some of them were hiding, not well. Some of them were just standing there. They all at this point come out of the woodwork and begin to flank you at a distance. Like 3 to each side, a couple behind you. A couple have met up with the half-elf woman and just is walking shoulder to shoulder with her just through these narrow streets, just sort of bypassing the more like the dredges of society. A lot of people don't look great. Some of them look fine. Some of them look like they could be in better health. And whenever the alleyway gets a bit too tight, someone's walking down the opposite direction, they'll just walk right back and just make way for the this criminal coronation you're currently being preceded by. And you don't walk too long. 5-10 minutes pass. You go back to the central plaza with that large pillar, all those stakes with those glowing crystals in it. So just lighting up the whole city, more or less. With the convoy that you're currently in the center of, you do draw a couple of eyes. Especially walking through a very public place, the place where there's thieves' cants hidden in thieves' cant, like this alternate dialect spoken by there's criminals and there's criminals, and just walking straight through it, all these people with wagons, seem like just merchants looking people just stood there. They all just stop the conversation, they just start looking at you a couple seconds and they just go back to their business, but drawing eyes. You are guided up the few well-paved, well-seated steps, just leading up these cobblestone actual chunks embedded in the ice itself, then seemingly just refroze over to sort of act as like a mortar. Guided up to the large mansion that you've passed by a couple times with those metal gates, a little gated community. Just this beacon of opulence in this chaotic sprawl that you just passed through. You see fine, light-colored wood panels and slabs of dark, polished marble. They just cover the exterior. You see lamps nailed to the outer walls, illuminating just the exterior of the house. Sort of a juxtaposed image compared to the ghettos and dives and the rest of the city, really. Large wooden pillars sort of keep the house aloft, and very large, imposing windows give a clear view, actually, inside and outside the house. You can see indoors, it's fairly nice looking. You see statues, paintings, chandeliers. You also see guards dressed in long coats, and you see them armed with rifles, and they're just posted up, just keeping watch. If you keep eyes as you sort of led up the cobbled steps of the building, at the front door, a very large, imposing door made of wood as well. 4 guards, also armed with rifles, just flanking the door. One of which, seeing the approach of you and the escort that you were assigned, begins jangling keys in a ring before unlocking the door for you to enter. The half woman just walks straight through, not making eye contact, not acknowledging anybody she has passed. At this point, the sort of congregation that had been following you, those people flanking you, people flanking her, they just stop at the door, and only she enters and She just sort of stops and looks at you, just beckoning you to come in.
Following.
Walking inside, you immediately feel the much warmer, regulated air just burning off the chill from outside. A somewhat familiar sensation, actually, reminiscent of your time in the time you broke into the beacon of repentance in Teague. Uh, fine wooden braided inlays, sort of just weaving in and out of these sun-yellowed paper walls. Suits of armors from different time periods, different cultures, just beneath them, and this huge crystal chandelier just hanging above it all, just looming over it, and just providing light. Doors and hallways go to either side of you, spidering off until they're out of sight. Just from your perspective, at least, this complicated, convoluted mess that looks like a nightmare to navigate. And in front of you is a large staircase that sort of diverges in the left and right to the floors above you. The escort pays attention to none of it and just continues guiding you up the stairs to the right through myriads of corridors, passageways, doors, past by a few decorative cases, actually, quite a number of these glass display cases in the hallway. Some of them containing weaponry, some containing shards of weaponry, shattered pieces of swords, shards of armor or pottery. One just straight up containing a collection of skulls, not all animal. And you spy a couple of the paintings you've seen from the outside, mostly of one singular man, a man that has black hair, with the style sort of changing from painting to painting, including the style of the painting itself. Seemingly different artists have drawn this one guy. Some of them grown out long, wild, others cut very short, very militant. And his clothes changed just as much, with some looking like kingly portraits, very candidly drawn to every detail, and some with artistic liberties. All of them are just plastered like once every 30 feet through every one of these hallways. And all of them, he does not smile, just giving this very this closed off feel, like a quality to each of them. Cool. And the walking is strangely long. You saw the size of the building. It's a big building, but it doesn't feel like the hallway should be this long. Anyone who's everyone make a perception or arcana check. Up to you.
One second.
Big number.
Oh, there's so many pages.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Oh, sorry.
There were
This is
legends in my own
ordeal.
town about this. I believe they
wow.
call this a TARDIS?
Oh, is Misty gone?
Misty said BRB ages ago.
Oh, right. Okay, I see. All right. No, I'll roll high enough. Cool. We'll start with you, Chris. Arcana. The first thing that strikes you is the length of these hallways and these doors. It is in your very intuitive, very academically inclined mind, these hallways are way too long. Like you remember the size of the building. It is a mansion. It is a sizable mansion, but you have walked in the same direction for like 3 or 4 minutes now. It makes no sense. And you're trying to spot why. Like, and occasionally the singular walk is broken up by a door or something, but that just leads to a small, like almost like a waiting room, like a doctor's office that you just pass through, go to another door, and it's another hallway that spiders off into infinite hallways. Like, it makes no sense until you begin to sort of look for ruins or any sort of arcane trickery. And as you're sort of paying attention, every so often you see the small glimpse of something glowing under a few tables that you pass by, a few armoires, a few of these paintings. And as you note them, you notice that those shapes, those ruins are always the same and all roughly in the same spot. It might be on a different object, but they're always roughly in the same spot. And it's just looping, more or less. And you begin to suss out, or at least get some understanding of what's going on.
I see.
Yeah. Those who rolled perception, you notice that you're walking a long time, but you aren't looking for ruins specifically. You're looking for just sus things, sussy baka things. And you don't notice any ruins or anything, but you do notice oddities of your environment. You notice that occasionally suits of armors are just looking straight ahead, armed with halberds of a different time period. Looks like some sort of war from like 100 years ago. And you hear this squeak, and you look back, and it's like slightly turned in your direction. You look at some of these paintings of this man with black hair in different stylings, and every time you look at it, it's almost something's looking back through the eyes. Every time you look, you go past some display cases with bones or weaponry in them. Occasionally, it just shifts positions. And all of these are just slowly building up. And the more you notice, the more you notice. And something strange going on in this house. But after what feels like solid 10 minutes of walking in the same house, just going through corridors, turning at like T sections, going through doors, just this strange slaloming pathway through this seemingly normal looking house. The escort sort of guides you to a large, almost comically tall set of double doors, nearing like 10, 12 feet in height, 5 feet in width for each door. Like it almost classifies as a gate. And sort of just stand in front of it, just leaves you.
What's our
So we just-
goal again?
Take you to Warren Rexun. Yeah,
They
and
just left us there in front?
she's just standing in front of it, just watching it, just looking at it, and she's just staring at you.
Okay.
She stopped at the doors.
Just look at her and
So-
go, like, do we knock?
She sort of just reaches over, grabs the doorknob, and just twists. It opens. Despite how large the door is, it's very quiet. No squeaks, no like resounding thunk. Just it opens.
Oh, thank you. I walk inside.
So you walk inside. You are seemingly in another waiting room, kind of similar to what the other ones look like, but this one is just a little bit more decorated. There are 8 chairs total. It's a very small room. 4 chairs on each side. One to the left, one to the right of you, just 4 along the walls. But in front of them are just 2 coffee tables. And seemingly a stack of newspapers and like a book or a stack of books, just light reading, really. There's the door in behind you, the comically large doors, and ahead of you, comically large doors. Almost the exact same, except this one has a silver wolf relief, like 7 feet in height. It's lowish to the ground, but is just sort of just embedded in the middle of these double doors, just bisected in the middle with this calm expression. The relief of the wolf is just yeah, embedded in the doors. It has this dull green glow in his eyes. You find that strange, but you also see there's one other person here in this room, actually. A halfling man who's sitting in one of the chairs to your right. Looks fairly middle-aged. Lost most of his thinning brown hair, sort of just dressed in shaggy furs, and is one is shaking, and two is also constantly sweating when he's just constantly dabbing the top of his like half balding head with a good handkerchief. And you're just alone in the room with him.
Are you okay there?
He's doesn't acknowledge your presence. He just
Is he? Can he see us, or is...
You want to walk up to him?
I guess because there's nothing else in this room, right?
No, there's just 4 chairs, 8 chairs technically, but yeah, 4 chairs on each side. He's in one of them.
How about I take a seat at the table?
In front of him, or just on one of the tables. There's 2 tables, one on each side of you.
Where is he sitting down?
He's on your right. He's on the right side of the waiting
I'll
room.
sit at his over by him.
As you sit on the table nearby him, he sort of looks up. Hey, yeah, so can I help you?
Jana looks to the group.
Riley notices Zero is spacing out and decides, yeah, what is the purpose of all that was previous, really?
What do you what do you mean?
Like the gazillion different security measures, the never-ending always.
I don't know. I just I'm sorry. Who are you?
Hmm.
You seem
Well, you may-
upset. Did we come at a bad time? Also, maybe introductions. I'm Jana. I'm not gonna say who
Riley.
we are.
I'm Chris Killager.
I'm Gilligan Bradley. In accounting. And he just sort of just sheepishly goes to shake one of your hands, whoever's would like to take his hand.
I'm gonna decline knowing this area.
Not
Yeah.
I.
Jana's gonna.
Yeah.
You know what? Jana will shake that sweaty hand.
Yeah, and you grab
with
it, and
eye
it is
contact.
yeah, you grab it, and it is the same size as you. He's a halfling, so it is a solid, firm handshake, and boy howdy is he sweaty. He is so sweaty. It is like you pull away, and it's like your humidity went up by like a factor of like 10%. Like he is so sweaty.
It looks like you may have lost some profits or something.
What,
Well,
yeah, what's troubling you, friend?
make a persuasion check.
I called him friend. Do I get advantage?
No,
Say it in Gnomish. Then it'll really resonate.
he's a halfling.
Oh, right.
That's racist.
I don't know, maybe he knows Gnomish. You never know.
You never know him.
Get out. Get out.
Yeah, as you shake his hand, he sort of just goes, "I think the less I say, the better. It's nothing to be proud of, and it's nothing that I'm sure it would just burden you, knowing me." As his eyes sort of just go bleary-eyed, and he just begins staring into space at like a 45-degree angle into the floor. just wipes off this already like this soaked rag at this point that he calls a handkerchief. It just slops it over his head, trying to relieve himself of his perspiration.
Can you say that again?
He's just he doesn't seem to want to tell you in fear of that'll make his situation for worse.
Interesting. Is it? I want to press, but maybe we'll just go lax for now. Be like, I understand. The walls might have ears, so I will respect.
Yes, I think it's good that you understand the rules of this place. You hear a. Where's everyone seated, by the way, if at all?
Standing.
Jenny, you're at the table. Rather, you're standing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll stand next to Jana.
Okay. Zero,
I'm
where you
gonna,
sit it.
I'm gonna stand behind the dude. Not like close, just like within a couple feet behind him.
Okay, he's up against the wall. The chair's
Oh, I
up
see,
against
I
the
see.
wall. Yeah.
My bad. I'll just stand near Janet then, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're clustered around him. All right. You all hear a funking noise from that door with the wolf relief on it. You also just look over. Pretty much the only noise other than your conversation in this whole room. You see that the silver wolf relief on the double doors has changed from that calm, very wolfy expression to like this enraged expression with its mouth open, teeth bared. And you can see in the center of its mouth, you see a door handle. And immediately after, the double doors swing open as a figure struts through the door. A human woman with this long, wavy baby blue hair, dressed in this strange ensemble of just clashing blues and pinks, like this deep V-neck dress with like suit pants, almost leotardy, with like this large decadent fur made out of this white fox, just draped over the neck and shoulders, like comically large, like it is a whole fox. This glittering lipstick in the same blue shade to match her hair, and just thickly done makeup around the eyes, like far too much. And the woman marches not quickly out the door with like a swagger almost, the clacking of high heels, just striking against the wood floor, nose turned up, and she sort of just turns her head to the left, making eye contact with the lot of you just sort of surrounding this halfling. See her lips, one side of it just curls into the smile at the corners, and she sort of just nods slightly without breaking stride, just before just walking clear out of the room through the doors you just entered through. The halfling, Gilligan Bradley, or Gillian Bradley, you're just, just sighs shakily, pats down his head vigorously, and he walks up to the door with the wolf relief on it. The floorboards below him almost seem to extend and rise up into staircases that sort of allow him to access the wolf relief as he reaches his hand into the mouth of the wolf and just pulls on the handle, and the double doors open for him. The floorboards descend back to that normal position as he just walks through. The doors automatically just close behind him as he crosses the threshold, and the wolf relief returns into a calm expression. You are now alone in this small room, seemingly.
Ah, man, I hate cryptic shit. I should have read their minds.
There's tables in here, right?
Yeah, there's tables. There's 2 coffee tables, one to the left, one to the right, and in front of the bar, just 4 chairs up against the wall.
Do I see any of those runes?
Make a perception check.
This is gonna be like some Cardassian shit in here, isn't it?
Looking around, without getting like too into it, at a just a basic glance, not currently.
Can I check those tables for the thieves' cant?
Sure, make an investigation check. Yeah, the tables are there's wood. It has a wooden frame, but the actual like flat surface itself is like this glass pane. Um, so looking at the glass pane from a top and the bottom, the glass is clear, and as you make your way down the frames as well, uh, where you might be able to etch in thieves' cant on like the legs or like any of the siding, seems pretty clean. It's all very well polished. It's all very well kept. Not a speck of dust anywhere.
Can I cast Identify on the wolf?
Sure. Are you doing it as a ritual or as just casting it?
A ritual.
Okay, so you're gonna draw on the floor.
Yeah, I'll just go on the floor.
Okay. As you take out some sticks, knives, chalk, you begin to just mark up the floor for your ritual to cast Identify. Sure. While that's happening, anyone want to do anything while you're alone in this room?
Zero, what do you think about the hallways?
Out of character for a second. I missed a lot of that. I'm sorry, my dad called.
Oh.
So as
Yeah.
you walked through the mansion, it is a normal looking mansion, a nice looking mansion. It is heavily guarded. You're led through by the half-elf woman, and to either side of you, left or right, you just see hallways and doors that just spider off into infinity. It looks like a normal house, but like as you begin to walk, it feels way longer than it should, just judging by the size of the house. Like you walk in the same direction for like 3 or 4 minutes. Like it is far too big for this mansion. And you walk for like 10 minutes, just going through doors, going through like offices and stuff. Like it's a big building despite the size.
What's Answin been doing this whole time?
Just following you.
Oh, poor Answin.
I forgot she was with us.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Can I investigate anything in the room, like on the walls, even for like traps or something?
Sure, make an investigation check. I should also note that like on the way there with the rolls before, Chris noticed there were runes on certain objects that seem to almost loop in a pattern. Like they'd be on different objects, but the runes themselves are always in the same orientation in the same order. Just walking through. That's what he spotted with the perception checks that Riley and Jana did. They noticed that some of the objects you're passing by kind of moved with you in a little bit, like armors which turn directions, bones, like the skull collection that the guy has would turn to look at you. There's a lot of paintings of a single dude in different styles of so the human guy in black hair, sort of just looking at you all the time. But yeah, that was on the walk through here.
The human guy with black hair, did he look like what's his name? Warren?
Some parts of it. There's a resemblance, but he didn't look exactly the same.
That must be Big Daddy Westkin then or something.
Maybe.
But I guess, yeah, if there's anything in the room, I know there's nothing in the room, but I'm saying, like, even if there's, like, panels on the wall or something, can I try to check for traps in the room?
Sure. As you're going through, checking for traps, sort of running your hand along any floor panels, or like, any wood panels, any weird wires embedded in the walls. Room seems pretty clean.
Can we not try to go the way that halfling went?
You can try. That's the door that Chris is currently working on.
Okay.
There's no door
Crazy
handles,
wolf
just
relief. Okay.
create that wolf relief in the embedded in the door.
He made it look so easy.
Yeah, there's a handle in his mouth, which the mouth is currently closed. So if you want to pry it open, you could try. Yeah, Chris, as you're casting Identify, doesn't block you or anything. It is something you can identify. This is in fact magical. This wolf relief is more or less an enchanted lock, similar to the spell Arcane Lock, where certain triggers can open it, like passphrases or anything. Certain people can open it. And picking it is fairly hard. Not impossible, but hard, because it actively prevents that. And it is generally known as a very secure type of lock. This one seems to be not the spell itself, but like the wolf relief itself is like the enchantment is on the wolf relief. So the wolf relief is pretty much like a glorified door handle.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. What are those like doorbells with like the camera on them? It's kind of like that. Excessive but useful.
Yeah. It's a magic door handle.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I want to test something.
Okay.
I am going to cast Sending to who, though? I'll cast Sending to Halimar, and I'll
Alright.
ask, any developments in the past video? Send.
Okay. Oh, what time is it? Oh yeah, it's like 1 o'clock. That's fine. Yeah, you send it. You get back fairly immediately. Yeah, there's a couple more of those salt guys. We cleared them out. No issue if you keep your distance. Sending seems to work fine.
Interesting. That's my test.
All right. Anything else you'd like to accomplish? Alone in the room.
Just wait for Chris to finish his ritual, I guess.
Yeah, which he did.
Oh yeah, okay, well, nothing then.
Okay. All right. You just sit, wait, contemplate, looking for traps, signs, ruins. Seems to come up clean, at least on first glance. After a long while, hard to tell how long, the wolf relief changes to an enraged expression again, the handle in his mouth, available to grasp.
Nobody seemingly stepping out of it?
No.
Zero, this is summons. What is this?
What do you mean?
Well, the door appears to be openable, but nobody's coming out of it.
Can I walk towards the door and like look inside of the door? Like what's behind it?
You try to look. Are you opening the door itself?
Oh no, sorry. I thought the door opened on its own. Just
No,
the
it just-
wolf's mouth opened.
The wolf's mouth opened. There's a handle in the mouth.
Can I check to see if the wolf has any cavities?
Make a medicine check. You know what? This wolf has been really gargling that mouthwash. You know, making sure it's flossing every day, and no cavities. Solid. No root canal necessary, or exorbitant amount of money.
This wolf has been flossing.
I'm gonna look to Riley and just say, let's make an entrance, I guess, and I will open the door like 10 feet away with mage hand, and then I will slowly step in.
Nothing says make an entrance like gingerly using your mage hand.
Yeah, you grab the door with mage hand, and yeah, it opens. Weirdly, because the door itself is like 10 feet fucking tall, like 5 feet wide. It's a huge door. And mage hand has no problem opening it. Yeah, but you open it up, and you're just sort of 10 feet away, backed up away from the door. Uh, yeah, inside you can see there's nothing barring you once the door opens from where you are and to the space ahead. It looks like a very clean, if somewhat cluttered, office space. You see a desk, and you see a guy at the desk. 2 chairs in front of him. There's a green rug just sort of laid out from the doorway to the chairs. It looks like there's space on left and right, but from where you're just standing, not much to see from there.
Okay, and I guess in the spot I'm standing before I step into the room, I want to set my blink back boots here.
Okay. So you set your blink back boots. There's these spectral footprints you leave behind.
I will. I guess if we're going in, I'll go in first.
Okay.
Yeah, Riley will follow.
All right, you're all going in?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk in, you see there's a man just standing up at his desk, currently seemingly just washing off his hands with a handkerchief. As you walk into the office space, you see there's objects in there. Normal household objects that you come to expect, small tables with decor atop, cabinets, decorative display cases as before with the jewelry and weaponry, a mirror. What does catch the eye is this strange few objects in here. One to your right is seems like a fabric training dummy just firmly installed into the ground. And to your left, near the guy's desk, is looks to be like a very pristine, well taken care of brass cannon, just in a mount, just sitting there, roughly pointed at the door. Yeah, and at the back there's just more drawers, cabinets, and there's one simple looking wood door just at the back of the office. Yeah, the desk itself, the guy standing behind, is just this curved, light colored desk, nothing fancy. And in front of you are just 2 chairs with cushions and armrests. The man himself, older in his year, human, this bed of black hair and a beard, salt and pepper around the sides, all very neatly kept, very well combed. He's dressed in a very clean, just platinum white dress shirt with a black unbuttoned jacket over it, black trousers, brown loafers, and he's currently just wiping his hands with a handkerchief. Next to him, to your right by the desk, is a human man, another human man, this time much older, sat in a wheelchair, a liver-spotted head with strands of wispy white hair, what's left of it at least, dressed in a very warm woolen white sweater and a green vest over top. And his eyes, vacant, slightly askew, are just aimlessly darting around the room, focusing on nothing in particular. The man at the desk sits down in the chair, just taking time to make eye contact with you and just gestures to the chairs in front of him, just still cleaning his hands off with the handkerchief.
Do I recognize either of these 2 dudes?
Yep. Same guys.
From scrying on Saleth?
Yep.
Okay.
The clothes are a little bit different, but their faces are exactly the same.
Do they resemble the pictures up front?
Make a... Yeah, your perception. The guy in the wheelchair. They both have resemblances, but the guy in the wheelchair, the very old man in the wheelchair, whose eyes just darting over the place, focusing on nothing, just basically catatonic. He has, if you were to DH him like 50 years, he has probably the strongest resemblance to the guy in the paintings,
Right.
minus the hair.
Right.
Who's sitting down? 2 chairs.
Absolutely not. I'm standing behind one.
I will also remain standing, and I'm just gonna keep eye contact with Warren and just give a polite smile, like a polite kind of smirk almost.
Yeah, Jana's activated power stance.
I'm gonna sit down.
Okay, you'll sit down in one of the chairs. It is nice. It is comfy. You almost sink into your chair. It does not come alive and eat you. It is chair. Anduin remains with the group and will stand up as well, knowing the shenanigans Chris usually gets into. Okay. The man that's wiping his hand with a handkerchief just dismissively tosses it on the desk and just leans his weight forward on the desk with his hands clasped together. As he's leaning forward, you can see he sort of flexes a bit, maybe not like consciously, but you can see that underneath these sort of this immaculately well-tailored clothing, he's kind of ripped. He's kind of solidly built. And he just has this emotionless, almost a judgmental expression on his face. He just glares at all of you for a bit, especially the ones who are standing up, not taking a seat. He just glances off to the old man in the wheelchair, whose gaze is just flitting about the place still. And he just turns back and stares to you. What are you doing?
Can I inside check to see if that flex was on purpose?
Make an insight check.
Damn it.
Hard to tell. He could just be ripped. He could have done it to actually literally flex, but who knows?
I fear no man.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just give him a look and just. I'll just like raise an eyebrow, like yes.
Okay. Like, I'll have you take the time out of my day to come here.
I mean, that is kind of what happened.
I didn't mean it to sound so shitty like that, but yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
He sort of just leans back a little bit and just, not in like a casual way, just a very, just almost professional, like office meeting way. He leans back and begins to speak. So a group of heavily armed adventurers I've never seen before walks in here and aimlessly wanders around. Doesn't find any contacts, no purpose, no business conducted. Instead, Mr. Roland steps in and gives you a guided tour of the town. Alleviate the gaps in my knowledge. Let's start with, who are you?
I would assume someone of your stature already knows.
He just sort of just turns a little bit to you and just he doesn't look angry or even annoyed. He just stares at you. And he just sort of goes, let's assume I don't.
What's the head woman's name from Silverwind? I always get her and Lyra mixed up.
Liz Ricaldi.
Those are called.
And the other one, the government official, is Lila?
Lila Roseri.
Yeah, okay. Not to be confused with Reseri Novos.
I'm just gonna speak up and again just keep my little shit-eating smirk on and just say, hasn't your good friend Liz Ricaldi already maybe told you about us? I'm sure.
Okay. He sort of just looks at you. Again, not angry, not annoyed, not happy, not surprised. He just looks. He just stares at you with these weirdly piercing, like steely gray eyes. Like, it's a very... It's near unsettling. Just his gaze itself. It's not seemingly not magical. He just stares at you. And you feel like a small chill down your spine as he just stares. And nothing for like 10 seconds, it does nothing. The old guy is still just flitting about, not paying attention.
I will just continue staring back at him.
So he sort of just goes, so you... Am I to assume that you're admitting to be called these thorns?
I'm gonna look at Zero and be like, what the fuck? What? Admitting to be what now?
I'm definitely a thorn.
Yeah, in my side.
I think that's what he's saying. That we're like annoying as shit.
Yeah. Do we say all this in character, Janice?
I
like,
think
If
Yeah.
Chris says that in character, I will retort with what I just said.
And I want to say that, but it's more like I'm saying it to the group, but I'm really saying at him, like, I think he's calling us annoying pieces of shits.
Is that what you say?
If everything else is said aloud, then yes.
Yeah.
I definitely say it aloud.
Yeah.
Then so.
Then that exact. Yeah.
I give
As
a
you all,
low effort shrug. Sorry, go ahead.
as you all snarkily respond to this, the head of criminal empire. Again, just stares. No anger, no annoyance, no joy, no shock. Just stares. Doesn't even really react. So yeah, he just leans back into the desk, elbows on the table, hands clasped, biceps flexing. And he sort of just goes, so you're the Xodiacs that keep disrupting the Silverwind Trading Company's business.
I shrug.
And blew up Blizzard Collie's office.
I smile.
And killed the very expensive gravekeeper that she hired. Using our money.
I keep smiling.
Yeah, we did kind of do that.
I like this. I like finding out how much he knows about us without saying anything.
When he mentions the gravekeeper, I smile like a little wider.
Does that mean she owes you money?
He doesn't respond to that. He just looked at you, dead in the eye, and just continues. And he just goes, right. Well, leaving that on the table. Next question. Why are you here then? If you saw yourselves as heroes blowing up our offices, disrupting the flow of coin, why walk into this lion's den?
That was just business. This is pleasure.
Here to elaborate.
I shrug.
He looks, despite the steely appearance, he looks actually kind of annoyed now. Like he sort of leans back and sort of just like or rubs his nose and just like looks up into space, just like what the fuck. As he sort of leans forward again, sort of stands up, and he sort of just goes, you can avoid questions all you want. I'm not going to stop you. One thing to keep in mind is that this, by law of coin, is my city. everything you do, everyone, you may know here. Anyone that may have told you the passcode to get in, I'll find out. So, given the clear hostility, final question. Are you here to kill me?
I'm gonna look around at the party like I'm not even trying to like be like sarcastic or anything. I'm just genuinely I'm like, are we being hostile?
Is that what the air about us is? Hostility.
Yeah, we tend to, keep to ourselves.
I mean, think of it this way. If we were here to kill you, we would probably have our hands on our weapons by now. Crazy as it may seem as, oh god, what do you want?
I was just gonna ask if you wanted to kill us.
Don't ask
I
questions.
didn't
you
know.
don't.
I didn't know who you were until up 2 minutes ago. This does change a lot. I let you keep your weapons to offer a air of trust. Normally you'd be disarmed at the door, but I made an exception, and just wanted to have a better understanding who walked into the city. And I am greeted with vague jabs and taunts.
Those jabs less vague then. Why live people? You understand that had it just been regular drug trade, nobody would have been the wiser. But then you had to use people? We never would have found out if it were not for that.
We wouldn't have cared.
I think you mistake my business in Silverwinds. I
Well,
don't run how they run.
that is where our quarrel lies. We simply want to make sure that the people being used as product, as it were, are not.
Right. We
Any other consequences of that are probably the wizard's doing.
wizard.
We just we ourselves are not, well, accepted through some parts of society. We ourselves are kind of outlaws as it stands right now. So, what dealings go on here doesn't really matter too much, except that the dealings that Silverwind has all over the world has an impact on people's lives, and that is what we're concerned about.
Right. So if you have nothing to do with what they're doing, then we have no issue with you, sir.
You hear a very loud, single reverberating knock from the wolf door behind you that seems to echo like for eternity. And then it eventually stops. You hear the whimper of a dog immediately after, as the door just swings open with excessive force, as a chiseled half-elf man with this baby blue hair set up in a curly pompadour, dressed in a very similar garb as the woman from before, deep V-neck dress in a blue and pink coloration with matching suit pants, and a whole fox adorning the neck and shoulders. The half-elf man walks in with an exaggerated hip sway, with this similar bubblegum flavored heels just muffled against the green carpet. As he sort of goes, "Yeah, Rexy, baby, they have no issue with you."
Yeah, baby.
Warren, who you assume the man is, at the desk, he's standing up, fists in into the desk, just leaning against. You hear just sighs and just head down. As the very ostentatious man bursts into the room. You heard them. They have no issue with your business. Just silver wins. And aren't you the least bit curious what their skills will do when they're not pointed at you?
Can I
After
insight
all,
check?
they recently took a job from the Grand Arbiter to sort of plant a spying device in the city. And yet, with their integrity, they didn't go through with it.
He's right.
You don't have to be so enthusiastic about it. It makes us look suspicious.
We went against.
Warren sort of looks at you, Chris, just goes, "Is that right?"
Yes. Well, the Arbiter set us up with a job, but he himself, we didn't really trust as that much, and well, we took down the dragon for him, but his other task was for us to go into the city and spy this city and plant a spying device or whatever.
And that said device is currently in the middle of bumfuck nowhere where we killed the dragon.
And now we're on the run from the Arbiter.
Warren sort of leans forward, eyeing you and Chris, or Riley, Chris, at the same time, and just goes, "You know what's in my business? What's more dangerous than any spell or dagger? People that talk too much." As the Warren Rexun sort of looks to that bubblegum flavored man off in the corner who's currently just very sassily standing there, all smirks and smiles. And bubblegum man sort of just gives like this weird suggestive eyebrow motion towards Warren, who sort of looks towards the rest of you, Zodiacs. As he sort of just goes, "So you have no issue with how we, the Rexun family, run our enterprise or the existence of the city?"
Do you stuff magical drugs in live humans and ship them off?
I don't think you're the one asking questions here.
If the answer to my question is a yes, then we have problems. If the answer to my question is a no, we have no problems.
Well, assuming there's no, like, other stuff that we don't know about.
I mean, after touring around the city, there is definitely some questionable things, but nothing that is an immediate concern. The reason why we haven't, went through with the Arbiter's plans is because you provide resources to specific organizations and possibly an opportunity for us to negotiate some things, because our current plan is, current focus is protecting the world, and that includes your world as well. So we have no current problems with you directly, or at least I don't.
Getting a tour of this place was probably also a very good eye-opener. Normally I would go above and beyond to try and seek opportunities to be charitable, but the people here, by and large, aren't really receptive to that kind of behavior. So, it's fucking weird as it is. I guess my help is unwelcome.
Bubblegum man sort of pipes up from the sidelines. Yes, the Zodiacs are very charitable, Rexy. After all, they're the reason why your Fentu deal didn't go through.
Did you say why it didn't go through?
Yeah.
I'm glaring at him now.
He just glares. He doesn't glare with the bubblegum man. Doesn't glare with like malice or anything. He just smiles. Very politely. He's very friendly. As Warren, you can see sort of tense up, like the muscles that he already had sort of bulge slug an inch further. As he just takes a deep breath and sighs heavily, looks towards Bubblegum Man, and just goes, "How?" At which point, the very ostentatious guy dressed up in very, very clashing colors just goes, "Oh, they rented out the services of one Yancy Upal with an exorbitant amount of money. Far too much. They're going through Silverwind right now, actually."
See, that wasn't part of the plan.
You get what you pay for, baby. Upal was a not good vendor.
Fate is 2020, isn't it?
The guy in the bubblegum getup looks towards Warren Rexun. "Don't be so mad, Rexy baby. Law of coin and all that. They just beat you to the punch." Warren sort of looks up. "Yes, they did. Well, you've made one thing abundantly clear. Clearly, you're very good at getting what you want. So, let us, for the sake of argument, if I was willing to ignore past transgressions, let the damage you've done to my profits be bygones, swept under the rug. Are you willing to do what the Queen said? Let your skills be used elsewhere."
Depends on the morality of the job, certainly.
Yeah.
You've been to Teague. You've seen how they operate there.
Oh, horrifically.
I
Like,
would like to
somehow worse than here.
I agree. One thing that Grand Arbiter Vatan doesn't understand: you cannot kill or capture crime. That is the hard truth of it. As long as there are those that have less and others that have more. People like us, people like Silverwind, me and my family, we will always exist. Even if you killed me, someone would only fill the seat I left behind. My siblings, my son, Miss Caldy even. That's what he doesn't understand. He looks at everything we've built, sees chaos, a malignant thing fit only to be stomped out and burned. But you've seen Teague. Is what he built any better? Those that have done wrong, those that have not, just to become slaves and servants, flesh that lives or dies at his whims. Not a thinking being, just a body in his prison. One more number added to his ledger. I do not agree with this sentiment. So, you've expressed your distaste for the way he runs things. I believe there, at least, we have similar, and he looks to you, Riley, similar morality.
Well, they say the enemy of my friend, or a friend of my enemy is my friend. How does that saying go again? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. There we go. That's the one.
You got that, baby. That is the nature of the job. Details I will not divulge until you've accepted.
I think there is one detail you ought to give us. Is this a hit job on the Arbiter?
That is not up to me to decide.
Hey,
This
Okay.
may have implications on our own standing with other governments around the world.
not really. It's the Arbiter. Who cares? That guy
Can we have a-
sucks.
can we have a
Other
discussion
governments
first?
around the world care.
Can we have a group huddle before we, in private, before we accept or decline? Would you guys
Group
mind?
huddle, you say, as the bubblegum man snaps his fingers and a doorway appears in the middle of nowhere. Just the sparkling, just stardust doorway.
Does this dude match in energy or even like magic or something to Bernie Starbright?
I mean, a little, but it's not like quite like this. It doesn't have the modern flair to it.
Okay. But the same like flamboyancy.
Same flamboyance, if anything more flamboyance.
Does his hand do the thing?
What thing?
We can keep,
Josie
we can keep moving. It's okay.
Like finger wags and shit.
No, like the limp hand.
the limp wrist.
You know what? He does actually. Palm up, wrist 0 power. Yeah, but there's this sparkling doorway as Bubblegum Man just walks through, hips swaying very exaggeratedly. The clicking of high heels as it enters into the this doorway. It just doesn't look like there's anything in there. It's just like this empty room. As the high heels hit the inside, it just sounds like laughter a little bit, like this giggling gossip as with every footstep. It'll be all hush hush in here.
Thank you.
Can I ask how you knew so much about our dealings?
The Queen has ears everywhere. Haven't you heard, after you, let's say, deposed the very corrupt and easily manipulable mayor of Fairhaven? You've got one of my coupons, don't you?
Yeah.
He's
How
been
does that
listening to us
character-
the whole time.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Through the note? Okay.
Wait,
What is
the
that?
There is
guy,
a thing.
the guy at Silverwind, the office dude. Why am I blanking on his name?
Isn't it? No, I thought this was like maybe it's like the thing that
Tannen.
Zero took.
Yeah.
Tannen.
He's talking about Tana, but no. I think this dude's talking about in the safe of the old mayor in Fairhaven, the one that Riley, fucking intimidated into dropping out. Inside of his safe, I found a note. It just said a note from the courtesan queen. I don't remember what it said on it exactly, but it was like I think it was like it was like a favor from the courtesan queen.
Why do I not remember this?
I vaguely
Damn.
So
remember
is-
this. It's been so long.
So yeah, that was literally like fucking 4 years ago. Is this person referring to themselves as the courtesan queen?
Lauren referred to this person as Queen one time.
I see.
But now I wonder how Tannen knew so much things.
That's true.
Well, I mean,
They got
probably
money
with
and they're
dealings
willing
with the
to back
Rexons and the
Yeah.
Silverwind, and it gets around.
Money
Yeah.
and connections. Also, like,
I'm go-
people know us. We're pretty popular.
Is it popular or infamous at this point?
Who knows?
When this person says that, I'm gonna make a face like I'm confused, and I'm just gonna like dig into my bag and pull out it's like a note, right? That says
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's I don't remember the exact contents, but it was something like like one favor from the courtesan queen.
I'm just gonna hold. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold it up and kind of like show it questioningly. Like I'm not gonna hand it to him, but I'm just gonna like show it to the party, and then look back at this person.
Did we get that in our handouts?
I don't think maybe. I don't
Probably
think
at
I
least
don't. I don't
once.
think I did. I don't think I gave it as a handout specifically, but
Yeah, I don't think there's a handout
No.
for it.
no, I just said you sort of have it.
Hmm.
Yeah, as you pull it out, a smile sort of creeps across this man's face. As he just goes, "Ding ding, baby, that's me." His
No.
eye, the courtesan queen. After you've, let's say, left awake in everyone's circle, I've just simply had to keep an eye. I have a, let's say, taste for interesting people. My, oh my, you have been very, very interesting. Killing dragons, betraying governments.
Have you seen
little juicy stories all reach my ears.
Have you seen any of the alien stuff?
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring that up now. Great.
There's been talk. I've heard. Just giving this like mischievous,
This
like
is like he has no
teasing
clue.
taunting smile.
yeah, inside check that.
Make an insight check.
God damn.
Can
You
I
are a little bit
also-
overwhelmed in
Can
this
I
one.
also
Like,
insight check just because I'm very doubtful?
make an insight check. You know what? You get that there's something there, but you don't know whether that's bullshitting or that's actually this, like, the queen has something. As there's like this, despite like this cordial, friendly energy, there is this very hard wall that is expressly like there to stop people from like reading any sort of expression or body language. But you get there's something tickling there. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's false, whether it's true, hard to tell. But there's something.
Hmm.
I'm gonna cast message, sleight of hand, cast message to Riley, and just be like, "Do we really want to go into this person's pocket dimension to talk about personal shit, knowing that he's keeping tabs on us?"
My whole theory is that this pocket dimension is just going to be like extracting information from us to begin with.
Oh.
What's the difference between going in there and staying out here and just laying it all in the open? I feel like it's going to reach his ears either way.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, I did want to say like I was not ready to discuss private details, just to at least us to talk amongst ourselves, but I wouldn't reveal anything
but-
else in this space.
Keep in mind, this whole discussion is just, weighing risk versus reward versus, it's not just what we get out of it, it's what the world gets out of it as well, right?
Yeah. My only thought for staying here rather than going there is at least they won't try to persuade us while we talk it out here. Versus if we were to stay in that room, they would like jump in and be like, "What?" Blup, 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 you know.
Can I turn to Warren? Because he said he wouldn't give us any details about it yet, right? About what the job is?
Yeah.
I will turn back to Warren and just ask him, as of right now, if we were to decline, what would happen?
You'll leave, but you will stay firmly on Silverwind's shit list. And frankly, mine.
Well.
Well, yeah,
Already
that
there.
first part wasn't so bad. That second one.
Oh no, Silver One will like us. What will we do?
Oh no. Okay, guys, group huddle.
I'm gonna
Right.
ask, is there anything we could do for Weskin?
He sort of just looks at you with actual annoyance this time. No.
Right. So,
I yank Chris by his robe to get into the group huddle.
Are you going into the rift in time and space, or just like chilling in the room?
I'm staying in the room.
yeah.
I don't trust like that.
Okay. Wherever the group goes, I'll be.
As you just get a group huddle, the queen sort of just puts on like a fake boohoo face. She goes, "Oh, Worry, they refused my gift," and just snaps the finger, and the door disappears. The queen sort of backs up like 2 paces and just goes uh, to Warren Rexun, "Earplugs, Rexy," and just turns around and just puts the fingers into the ears.
Right. So, this has a few routes that it can go. One, we're conscripted as mercenaries to kill the Arbiter.
I like how that we're all on the same page that it's gonna be to kill the Arbiter.
I mean,
What else? What, they're
There's-
gonna send us through the McDonald's drive-thru? Come on.
if he wants a Mick-filet, I mean, I can just make him one. Right.
I'm gonna cast message. I'm gonna cast message to Riley and just be like, we could also just pull a Grand Arbiter and just say we're gonna do the thing and then never go do it.
Right, and then we'll have 3 factions, all equally powerful after us. I don't think we survive that.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen either way.
No, it's not.
He just said.
No.
Unless you're actually considering doing it. Are you really?
Well, it depends on what the job is, right? That's what we're here to suss out.
That's the thing, though. If we accept, we won't tell us the details of the job until we accept the job, and if we accept the job and then we
This is
change our
this is
minds-
why we're theory crafting. This is why
Oh
we're
my God,
trying
what
to
if
figure
there
out what it could
is-
be.
Wait, so what's the deal if we accept and then we fail to do it? Did we hear those consequences?
No,
What?
I think he just said that he wouldn't give us the details of what this job entails until we accept it. That's all he said.
Keep in mind, he also said not for me to decide. That means there's like some higher power, like even more influential than him, that's gonna like lay out the plans for us.
There's also, well, the higher than him is Weskin, isn't it?
Well, we don't know. Maybe, just by appearances, that's how it is. But if that man in the wheelchair is Weskin and he doesn't have his, wits about him, perhaps it's not him issuing. Maybe it's the courtesan queen. Maybe it's that other fop over there with the blue hair.
Worst case scenario, he asks us to kill the Grand Arbiter.
And that's not
That's-
even. That's not the worst. I don't think that's the worst case.
I was like, what
'Cause,
if
like-
this is a complete, what do they know about us? Like, what if it's something like, go kill the Atme brothers or something? It's something that's like we wouldn't want to do,
It's like-
know?
Yeah, we would never do that.
I mean, all he's disclosed is that it involves Teague, so that's my only theory as to what this job could be.
It could also be liberating the city somehow. I mean, I don't really know how else we're going to do that aside from either killing the Arbiter or at least capturing him and his little goon squad.
It's also the question of like, sure, there's people suffering in Teague, because they did crimes, but like, who was it? We either spoke to some man briefly. I think maybe Jana might have spoke to him, and then he seemed like innocent, and then one of the guards told Jana that he like fucking stabbed a woman and then killed a horse or some shit like that. Like, this is a very specific memory, but it's like there are bad people in Teague still.
Does that mean that they should be, put to death by ice formation or whatever for freezing. I feel like there are significantly better uses for like a prison population than to just have them uselessly die. Ever heard of reformation?
Well, that's a conversation to have with politicians and not a crime lord who I'm sure this is going to benefit him somehow.
Oh, for sure. So then what? We
Break
we
out a dangerous prisoner. Break out someone close to him.
See, if it's one person in particular, I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's go back to what Zero considers to be worst case scenario for a second. The fallout of killing / capturing the Arbiter is what exactly? We gain distrust among world governments? I mean, Silverwind is like deep in the pockets of the government of Rias to begin with. So that's one thing that we're already kind of on their shit list. Number 2, I don't think Silnia's gonna mind all that much. They're a pretty civilized peoples. Not a whole lot of cooperation between the two, unless there's something going on behind the shadows that we don't know about.
There might be. There's that crazy stuff that happened in the academy. And there was that that jamming jam.
Well,
That might be put to use to weapons.
what, do you think we've helped Goneg Grant do that? Just so he could utilize it in some sort of military fashion? Didn't really strike me as the type.
No, wasn't it that it was going to be confiscated for that or something like that? Or was it going to be used for that sort of thing?
I do remember that part of like the dude who originally created it had to hide it for some reason. I don't remember what the reason was, but I think we have like journal entries or something saved in our notes, right?
They also had the that crazy demon in the classroom.
My thing is like, as of right now, my understanding of how all of the governments are aligned is that they all have all the major countries have an alliance with Thane. That this is like the universal prison. All of their fucking criminals come here. Not every country, but all the major ones. Like, fucking, I'm blanking on other fucking countries.
Yeah, Rias,
Altus, Rias.
Yeah.
Calbe.
Yeah, see, I can't speak for like Calbe. We've never been there.
We've never been there. We have
Maybe-
no idea what their fucking deal is.
Maybe Tetscat, possibly.
I mean,
but-
Tetscat is just part of Rias.
Yeah, that's true. So, my thing is like very, very similar, I guess, to like how once we pissed off the Grand Arbiter, we were universally like wanted all over the world now. If we killed the Grand Arbiter, that's why it's the worst case scenario to me. If we killed the Grand Arbiter, no politicians who may be on our side in the future will associate with us anymore. Not just because, oh, we killed somebody that they might have been aligned with, but it's like we're dangerous, and we've proven that we don't care or respect societal norms, and we assassinated a world leader. They're not going to want to be around us purely out of their own safety.
That's true. I don't like being seen as like these like killers for what like to be used for other people's gain. Yeah.
Yeah, when you put it that way, living the vigilante's life probably isn't the right call after all.
It could also start a war.
Yeah, we kind of
that's
don't want
true.
that, given that we need people alive for what's to come next.
And like I'm gonna be honest with you. While Warren's over here saying they're not involved in the slave trade, that's fine and all. I don't think they're good people. I still think they've done fucked up shit probably that we would not approve of. We just don't have them all laid out in front of us to, point fingers at him for yet. If we dug up the shit that they've done, I'm sure he's had a hand in what Silverwind's doing. They're obviously working with them. They have a presence here in Lipad, so he's like, they are his allies. Even if he has not personally called any of the shots, he still aligns himself with them because what they're doing to him is probably a business.
That's true.
So I'm like, right, this dude's not a good guy. Whatever he wants us to do is going to be very self-serving for his family and his family only, and I just don't trust it. like everything has a catch. Like especially what he wanted to do with Fentu. He wanted Salith to give him the location of Fentu in exchange for giving people food and basic necessities to survive. They would set up shop. The Rexons would set up shop in Fentu and basically take over. Like they would be the government of Fentu.
Yeah, fuck these guys.
My vote is either for just straight up telling him no, or because I still think if we tell him no politely and we leave, he will still be on his shit list. Or alternatively, we tell him yes and then we don't do it and then we're on his shit list anyway.
I feel like
I'm
it's
really
a more
curious.
power move to just decline.
I think I'm with Jen on this one.
I agree, but I'm
I
so
know.
curious.
Don't let your curiosity get ahead of you,
Yeah.
Zero. You could put us in a worse situation.
Yeah.
Because we already betrayed the Arbiter. If we say yes and then don't do it again, we will never be trusted by anyone ever again. Ever.
Yeah.
If we simply walk out and we, put that target on our back, it's just the crime syndicates that'll be after us, which is fine. World governments will still have some sort of respect for us in some way.
Yeah, besides, I think we still have the allyship of the Faceless on our side at least. So.
Do we? Yeah, we still have the commission and the Faceless. We still have to negotiate with the commission, see where their alignment is at.
I agree with the majority of the party here that we should politely decline.
We gotta stand up for morals at the end of the day. It's the big picture, not the little... the ends...
Yeah.
Wait. The ends don't justify the means? Because the stuff in the middle does matter.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, it's gonna be tough. Not that we weren't already... Whatever. We've gotten through tougher shit than this. We'll be fine. We killed the dragon.
Yeah, not to underestimate them, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm not scared of the Rexons. I'm not scared of the Rexons. I can't.
I'm not personally afraid of anything that's going to happen. I think we can handle whatever they throw at us. I'm more afraid of, what happens to our connections.
Yeah, that's fair. Because what are they gonna do? Send another fucking assassin after us? There's already 2 that are like on our ass, so it's fine. I'm not gonna be the one to do it. Nose goes.
It's okay, I'll do it. As you see the bubblegum man literally like a foot away from you in the huddle, very stealthily, rolled very high in the stealth. Just turns around and looks to Warren. They said no, Rexy baby. Warren sort of just sits down and just looks at you all with that same neutral expression. Gonna ask why.
Sorry, it's out of character. When I notice that the queen is standing really close to us, can I pickpocket him?
As yeah, you go to pickpocket, illusionary.
God damn it! Oh, he was so cool.
Look
He
at
was gonna
these
have such cool
slippery,
shit.
slimy motherfuckers. No way.
No way.
Yeah, you go to pickpocket the queen, and then you look in the corner. You see the queen just like staring off into space, just smiling.
Pussy. Oh, but he asked us
Why we declined.
He did? I thought he didn't. I thought that's what...
Oh, I thought... What was
Simon, clarify. I heard he didn't ask why.
I thought...
He says, can I ask why?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's fine. Clarify question. I'm in a mood tonight. We don't wanna? That's not a character. That's not a character.
That was good. That was good.
My mom said something very bad.
I don't know.
at
Maybe
Jaina
that is her
really.
answer. Just we don't want to.
It goes a little bit deeper than that. Put yourself in our situation. What would you do?
It's not that dumb Marvel show.
Hmm?
Well, if I'm putting myself in your shoes, you have a fairly well-connected governmental organization on your shit list, as well as a fairly big player in the underworld on your shit list. You have two very influential enemies on both sides of the law. I just wanted to give you allies where it counted.
But it counted, huh?
Look,
Hmm.
we have a decent enough track record staying out of politics thus far. That's not where
Yeah.
our business lies. And while I can appreciate you, having a moral compass and caring about others, if that is the reason for this, I think I can speak for at least myself when I say I don't agree to anything without details first. That's just me, though.
Yeah, without information, while we respect all that you guys do, it feels like we have more to lose than we have to gain. And surely you as a businessman can understand some deals just aren't worth it.
Bubblegum Man at this point has dispelled the illusion. The senses go back to the original body and just sort of sidles up to Warren and just goes, "It looks like they caught you in a classic burn, Rexy."
Do I have any fucking spells I can use on this? I'm so fucking tired of this guy. He's like making shit worse for us, dude. I'm not gonna cast anything on him, but God, I hate him.
Yeah. Yikes.
So I think that's the overall verdict is respectfully decline.
Yeah, Warren just doesn't nod, doesn't shake his head. No anger, no annoyance, no joy, no shock. Just raises one hand and sort of ushers. There's sort of like motions to the door, which just swings open. The relief you can see is now the enraged, door handle exposed expression. And he sort of just goes, "There's your door then."
At the very least, we're glad to have made your acquaintance. And that wasn't a waste of time.
I
then
will
Jana will leave.
respectfully. Go ahead, go sorry.
Oh no, I said as Jana leaves.
Oh, I was just gonna say I respectfully nod to him and the queen, and then Weskin, and then I will also follow Jana.
Okay. As you all filter out one by one, yeah, you find yourself in that waiting room again, alone. At which point the wolf door opens again as you see the queen following fairly close behind. As Sora just leans in, just goes, "Now that wasn't a very smart move. Trying to throw you an olive branch. Get you on the good side of fairly influential figure in the underworld, but not what I would have done."
Anything we've done been intelligent? Let's be honest.
I think that's why I like you. You're this unassailable and unarguable force of chaos, justice, death, life. Fascinating.
I thought he was gonna say fashion, sorry.
Fascinating.
Right, so is there any point in us being incognito about anything we do? Or are you just going to be spying on us the whole time?
That's my business, baby.
Cool,
I spy
awesome.
on everybody. But I hope that you rest assured that I don't give out information readily, usually, unless it's fun.
And you calling us the chaotic ones?
Yeah, what he means is for free.
Have you spied on the Arbiter spying on us?
Oh, plenty. How do you think I know of all your deals and dealings? Eyes and ears everywhere.
I'm gonna take out the note from the Courtesan Queen again and just ask, what does this get us?
That gives you one of several things. For the mayor, probably blowy. For anyone else, well, it's a favor from me. I have access to my vast, vast information networks. Want a secret known? I probably have it. Want something I don't have? I'll get it.
And how do we contact you?
Find me in the red corner of Nabethis. You'll find one of my contacts. Or do one of your sending doodads.
Right. Did you say the red corner?
The red corner. Wait, it's the one district we have not gone to in Nabethis. Well, sorry it wasn't much of help. I'd say that was quite fun, though, wasn't it?
I think I need to redefine the word fun.
Yeah, I need a drink.
I miss fishing. Remember fishing? Fishing was fun.
I can get you into the upper echelon.
We've already been. Not our cup of tea.
Oh, it's wonderful, as long as you don't mind being overcharged.
Yeah, I mind a lot. Especially
is
after
much
hearing
fun?
we got overcharged for Fen too. That was a lot.
Oh, Yancey is not a good customer. You were great customers, but he is a piece of work.
I do have a question. I'm curious if you're aware. If you'll even give me the information. Is Silverwind aware that the shipment Yancey ordered heading to Golmud right now is for the Zodiacs?
The queen sort of just very limply bends one hand out. Coupon.
It's not worth it. Oh, no. I'm just gonna pocket my coupon and just keep walking.
Yeah,
I might have information then, who knows? I am curious if there is anything that you're not privy to that you'd like to be. You have one of my favors, after all. Anything juicy you'd like to ask me?
Yeah, and this isn't just mine. So the party, if you guys find something to use it for, I by all means speak up.
Yeah, my problem is that I don't even know what I don't know.
Employer of the Gravekeepers.
What was
The
it?
current Gravekeepers.
I mean, Chris, hold on. Does that benefit us? I'm sure a network like that, they can just move the second they're found out. And furthermore, say they've got a bunch of gravekeepers, just lying in wait. Just on ready for call, not scouring the world like we've seen. One gravekeeper was already a tough fight. How many do you think are posted there? And if we storm them, one, there's no reason to storm them. That would be a faster shortcut to death than, them going after us would be.
Who hired
I mean
them, right?
I mean the employer of the Gravekeepers that are
Who put the
that are
hit on
currently
us?
after us.
Oh.
I'm gonna be right back real quick, sorry.
Okay, see, that one's a little bit better. I like that. I heard lair, sorry.
Oh no.
Where is the
It's
lair
like
of the
a Chris
gravekeepers?
That does.
Yeah.
sound
Where's
like
the
a
li-
Chris thing.
Where's the Luca lair?
Oh, I like the who has the hit on us. Is there anything even juicier? Because it's one of those things where it's like, we'll probably find that out eventually.
Yeah, that's just kind of like a shortcut to figuring it out. And there's a few candidates, and it doesn't really matter which one it is, because assuming they get that purchase gone through, we're gonna have a set of gravekeepers to contend with, regardless.
I also am curious to know if the government of Rias or Altus is kind of corrupt or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, do we know who the head honcho of Silverwind is? Like, we know some already, like, higher ups. We do know, like, who is the top of, like, the pyramid scheme, I guess.
Well, wouldn't it not be Liz Ricaldi as CEO? Or is there somebody even more powerful than CEO?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, do we think there's someone even above him that we don't know about yet? Can we just ask us, like, what is Silverwind doing? We can just ask that, plain and simple. Like, what are they doing with the bodies?
Wait a second. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
We'll wait till Zero gets back. I'm assuming we're all okay with that.
Yeah.
We've been literally trying to find that out since day one.
We know the what, we don't know the why.
This feels almost, the wish card was so powerful that it was almost too much power, but this is exactly like,
This is basically just like another wish.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's for like knowledge.
Here's the question. It has absolutely nothing pertaining to anything we've discussed thus far. Do you happen to know a Bernie, was it Starbright or Albright?
Starbright. Albright is a detective from Phoenix Wright Games.
Oh yeah, true. No, that's Fulbright.
Who's Albright? All Might. That's it.
Burnbright?
That guy, the one who runs the game show. Do you know him?
I know a lot of people, but not that one. Sounds like quite a fellow, though.
Yeah, I'd say.
Oh, changing time. As the queen sort of does like a Sailor Moon pirouette, and that woman from before has just been in place.
What, the one with the blue hair?
Yeah. Same hair, same clothing, pretty much, more or less, but it's that same woman that walked out originally.
Riley's
What do you
just gonna-
think?
Right, perception check? Can I see if there's anything that changed?
Make a perception
Alright.
check.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
the whole body changed. That the man from before just did a pirouette, and now it's like that woman from before.
Oh. Right. Oh, so why that form then? Just think it's fancy?
Just think it's fancy.
It is fancy.
I like to change skins every so often. Keeps things fresh.
I wish I could do that.
What's your favorite look?
It changes day to day.
What's your favorite one today?
Louis sort of squints, pirouettes one again, and it is a like with a shower of stardust and embers. It is a carbon copy of you, Janet, except with a blue hair and like the bubble gum get up. What do you think of this?
Blue is a nice color. It reminds me of the ocean.
Very nice. What's your least favorite look of the day?
It does another pirouette, and it is a exact copy of the dude in the wheelchair.
Oh.
Jana, don't feel bad. He's probably a war criminal.
That's actually true.
Oh.
Weskin does not have the best history.
He also seems to be pretty full of himself. Or at least was when he had his functions about him.
He was. Most of the stuff you see in the house is his. Especially, at least in the display cases.
Also,
Right,
to get
Zero.
Back? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a great
Hi.
question.
What's up?
What if we just were to ask, like, what's Silverwind doing with those bodies? What are they doing? What are they up to?
Like here in Lipeout, what they're doing?
No, just like
No.
in general. Just
What, like, in
what are they
general? Like,
doing?
why they're trafficking drugs to begin with?
Like, just what's their plan? Like, what's their scheme?
I mean, that's what the vote's for. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Yeah,
Just
I
feels
think
like
that's.
we've been
I
after
think
that
that
for now. This could be just our time to be like, what the fuck?
even our in-man doesn't know what the fuck's going on, or at least is pretending not to be. So this is kind of like, I don't know what
like
else we
the
would
wish
use
we
this
never
for.
got.
Yeah.
So you want to know what Silverwind's doing with all that meat?
All that meat and no potatoes. What's going on?
Coupon.
I lazily pass him the coupon.
Yeah, with one very long-nailed finger. Just takes it from you and just puts it in like the, I guess where the cleavage would be in the V-neck that they're wearing. And so it just goes, Silverwind is let's call it a double-sided transaction. It always starts with some hapless victim plucked off the streets of a backwater town. Someone no one will miss, or at least someone that doesn't have the power to get getting back. They'll have they'll be processed, the unconscious ripped apart, and then have a couple of little fun substances stuffed inside of them. That's where the two-part system comes in. One, their drugs will never be found if they're inside somebody, so they can just be sent across the country. No suspicious escorts or carts or lies, just a couple of travelers on the road. When they get to a specific facility, wherever that may be, there's a couple around the mainland. They'll be ripped apart again, the drugs taken out. But what are they going to do with all this meat laying around? The drugs will be shipped off, sold somewhere, transported to where it needs to go. The person is the other side of the coin that maybe you weren't privy to. How much do you know about Howard's predilection about forced servitude?
I was not aware until recently. And now it
Well-
kind of fucking pisses me off a little bit.
I know there's a.
Toned down.
I knew there was a history. It's the reason why my parents left there.
Howard hasn't had the cleanest of reputations. They have a, let's say, an archaic view about that sort of topic. And while it's toned down since the wars that led to the formations of Altus and Rias, it hasn't entirely died down. Among certain circles, there will be a couple people, wealthy families of old money, that are willing to import exotic foreign slaves. That is where they end up, usually, if they aren't too much trouble. From there, they're passed around to whichever family wishes to buy them. Ingenious and way to get money.
Wait, in layman's terms. So what's going on?
Silverwind
Puts
uses
drugs in
people that they go.
bodies, Then they sell
Puts-
the drugs, and then they resell the corpse. Like, I feel like I got lost in the forest.
Not
So-
the corpse, the live human.
Yeah, the people don't. So everyone put drugs in like living people.
Okay.
Use them to sort of hide the drugs, so they can just walk across the whole country with like no no one's gonna like be suspicious of that, right?
Right. Okay.
whenever they get to where they need to go, the drugs will be taken out. They'll be sold to wherever that needs to go, and the people, the still living person, will be sent to Haura to be sold into slavery.
Okay.
So the next then.
So wait, so when we in the first few sessions, am I just misremembering? Did we not find dead bodies, or does something like go wrong there?
And a few dead bodies. You also found live people too.
Okay.
Yeah, we liberated quite a few people from the underground, including the daughter of a priest.
Yeah, I think it's just been so long now that. Okay.
Yeah, for the most part, any people you find that don't work for Silverwind but are in like a Silverwind house who are still alive.
So that's what becomes of
Anyone you don't save.
Right, and our going about saving these poor people, they're an active detriment to the Rexons, these actions that we're taking.
If only you had a coupon that could give me the answers to that.
Cool, how much was one of those cost?
5,000 gold.
Damn. Do I even have that much?
You say 5,000?
Yep.
Yeah.
All of you should still have that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm just
can
wondering.
pay it if do we want to answer that?
There's a few things. What was the question I just asked?
How...
If we're an active detriment, our
Yeah.
heroism.
I think we know the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, alright, different question then. This one might be more worth it. Is this operation connected to Project Thunderhead?
That's a question.
Is that the alien stuff?
No, I have no idea what it is, which is why I'm asking.
Wait,
Where
what
did we
was-
see Project?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
where-
in the abandoned building in Tetscat.
You found a where you guys found the doctor. That used to be a faceless hideout in Tetsuka. There's a note there in one of the, like, whoever's running that operation at the time. There's a note there that was more a report about something that Silverwind's doing called Operation Thunderhead.
Gotcha.
That is the only mention I think of it ever so far.
Yep.
Yeah, that's literally all I know about it. Is called Operation Thunderhead.
Can you word that as a two-parter? Like, what is Project Thunderhead, and is it related?
Two-parter. 2 words.
2 words. What?
Just ask how you asked it. I was trying to be sneaky.
$5,000 gold.
Do we want to maybe split this, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright.
You spend the dragon hoard already.
Here,
Slide
how
double.
about I pay 3,000 and you can do 2,000 because I don't want to do that much math.
Yeah, let's do that then. Or 25 each. Oh,
I
not
don't
no,
want to
right,
do
you want
math.
to do- Yeah, okay. So,
So I
2,000
paid
me,
3.
3,000 you? Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
3.
Okay, so 2,000 from Riley, 3,000 from Jano.
Correct.
Okay, as you pile up the money, you put in a small satchel or bag or pack or pouch. That's the word I was looking for. With
Wait,
your hand
can I
to
throw
your
in an
queen.
extra 1,000 to make it a two-parter question? To make the question, what is Project Thunderhead, and is it related?
To Silverwind's, related to what? Silverwind's operation stuff?
Yeah, with the drug trade.
Sure.
Okay.
So 6,000 total.
I'm happy with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to find out what I don't want this to be like a no, and then we don't find out. Fucking, that's my worst fear. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you hand the queen, the courtesan queen, the pouch of money, fairly sizable. They take it and then sort of just hold out one arm, drops it, and it just falls into like a portal, never to be seen again. With a very wry smile, just goes, Operation Thunderhead, little Silverwind's pet project, is kind of an enigma even to me. It's as far as I can tell, through various reliable and unreliable sources. It is a project which will bring about, this is not my words, a new age of sky piracy. It appears that it's some sort of floating city, a little hub flying high above everybody that will let pirates do their thing, have a little safe haven, all paying tribute to the ones who built it, Silverwind. There's a lot of money being funneled into it. There's a lot of deals, a lot of mercenary types going out and raiding specific locations to get specific ingredients for them to concoct this city. You've heard of the Molten Horde.
Why, yes.
They've been hired out a little bit to raid certain facilities, certain convoys to get a large amount of arcanite. Little green metal that they use to make skyships float. I guess you need a lot when you're trying to make a floating city. That's what they say on paper. There's something about it that is strange to me. It took a lot to get even that information. This is the deepest secrets that Silverwood has, seemingly, and seemingly not even the higher-ups of Silverwind even know of it. Just a small select few. Well, I'm still trying to get their names of. As for whether the operation is related, likely. Whether not directly related, I don't think, but the money that they get, all that money, needs to go somewhere, and seemingly it's going into this Operation Thunderhead.
Hmm.
I have thoughts about it that I'm not going to say in character now. But obviously, like, spaceship to aliens, right?
For a moment, when they were talking about the floating island, for a split second, I thought they were gonna say they found one, and I thought this was gonna be something to do with Novos. Because I mean, I think we learned that she's trapped somewhere in like a pillar
Yeah.
on an island, but I guess we had never gotten any verification if the island was on the water or not.
That's true.
From my vision, it was
That's true. You did have a vision.
it seemed like a remote island, right? It was just on the water.
It was everywhere. Like every time you'd blink, the location would be different.
Including in the sky.
Yeah, seemingly.
Oh, fuck.
Shit,
Yeah, like every
dude,
time you
that's-
blink, you'd look at it, it'd be like this remote island in the ocean. You'd blink, it'd be like in the mountains in snow. You'd blink, it'd be in the sky. You'd blink, it's in a desert. Like it's a weird island. Yeah, it also had like a lot of like this terrain was almost patchwork. Like there's like different stones and materials and sand and snow that are all sort of just collecting on it. But that's as much as you remember. How its nature works, where it is, how you get to it, no idea.
Well,
That was
I
a
think
good
it's more
question.
of
That was a very good question.
This Thunderhead project, it's kind of a strange deal, even to me. So, I'm going to make a strange request. If you find any information on it that even I don't know, I'll pay you for it.
Ooh hoo hoo.
how much.
If it's good, let's say 1,000 gold per tidbit.
I mean, it'd be stupid not to.
It's free.
What what-
It doesn't hurt to say yes.
is there anything you want to know that we might know right now?
Oh yeah.
That's a good question. What do you know? I'm an honest person, mostly. I'll pay you if I feel like it.
We know secrets about the moon.
Pray tell.
I'm gonna put my hand down for money.
I want to hear the value of the secret first.
World ending.
It wasn't there a few thousand years ago. That's when it was, right? When Deirdre was alive?
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah. Like,
Thousands.
yeah.
Okay.
And what's your source for this information? Literally
How-
source.
Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him we talked to God?
Ghost bird.
Yeah, we've got a few sources to corroborate. How much are you willing to believe?
If I think the information is true, I believe it. There's a saying where I go, is that the word of an honest person is worth more than 1,000 of the common.
Alright, let's get your honest opinion on this then. Do you care if the world ends?
I can't be beautiful, I'm dead now, can I, baby?
Okay, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Zero,
Also,
do we tell
what do we
him?
have to gain from lying about this? Like, this is so out there. Like, how?
I don't know, we can probably use it to, like, sow the seed of fear or something. Like, if the Arbiter knew this information... I guess he does now,
Whose side
but,
are
like...
you on, Riley?
What, you just want money, don't you? I'm on the side of keeping us
No.
all alive.
No, this is my argument of like, why would we lie?
I'm not lying.
I know we're not
I made it
lying. I know we're telling the truth.
Do we
Why
tell
are
him then?
we fighting? I'm trying to convince the queen.
I have evidence. I have evidence.
Yes, Chris, please go.
Well, show me, baby.
Well, I'll show him the laser gun because that's one thing I
Oh,
have.
you still have one.
This is
You can pull
evidence.
out the this strange rectangular box that when you like grab the grip, it just unfolds into. Doesn't look like a gun, but it does shoot gun. It does shoot lasers. You know that
It
much.
does shoot gun.
Gun
It
shoots
shoots-
guns!
It
A gun
shoots
that
some
shoots guns,
sort of.
guns.
It shoots some sort of plasma radiation. Almost like a magic, but different. We found this in the Tetscat mines, well, deep under, near the hidden city of Sen Lumina. And is there where we uncovered several different interesting things. Ruins or depictions of weird, grotesque creatures. And what was the symbol exactly? It was like tendrils or something like that, showing like 3 different things.
Yeah, I think it's like a circle with an eye in the middle, with like 3 different like tentacles or tendrils at like equal lengths in like a triangle around it.
Yeah. And we found that. I did write down something we found within it, what looks to be some mechanical device that had information, and looking at it hurt my brain because I didn't understand it, but I was able to make out a little bit of it, and I wrote this down. Then I show him the meat room text and the glass panel text.
Meat room, amongst the worst things I've written. written.
And within this cavern, we realized that this cavern wasn't actually like a cave or anything, or dungeon. It was actually a ship, a vessel to transport things. And I like show him like things like we saw creatures in there, creatures that we didn't even know about, creatures that, you know, seem to not be part of this world, such as a Nyogi. It was a kind of a rude animal, and it stole the ship. I think it was very sneaky, and that place is no longer exists as we know it now. But there was Yetis, and one, as you can see here, as part of the glass panel text that I transcribed, there's a specimen called Azazon, part of the god species, it says, which is true. This Azazon is actually part of what is called the old gods, different from the 10, which is commonly believed now. That's probably a lot to take in, but there's other information. I don't know how much of this you actually knew.
As you hand the queen like the sheets of paper that you pretty much copied down, like that alien language, while you still had any sort of brain capacity to do so. Like the queen's been smiling the whole time, but like as sort of just sifting the paper, it's just very analytical and just like actually looking it over like very expertly and professionally, just looking at papers, like as one would do is if you looked at papers a lot. About a couple seconds pass, and the queen just sort of just looks towards Chris. So there's another pantheon of gods, you said.
That is true. Well, gods that are not commonly believed in at this moment. We don't know really why. Just that, you know, the 10 seem to be the most dominant as it stands right now.
And the 10 are new as well. They haven't been around forever.
The queen sort of just smiles the moment you said that, Riley. And just goes, I had suspicions. There's been a lot of, I get word of little archaeological digs, and a lot of nerds writing studies about such things, and I get some of those papers, and let me tell you, there's a lot of that doesn't add up, so if you really look at it.
My mentor was one of the leading researchers in that field.
Are they now?
Yep. Well, he's the one who told me about the falling stars, and that's where I kind of started my journey on, and it led me to this information.
Yeah, the queen sort of looks down at the papers, looks up at you all, looks down at the papers, looks up at you all, and just sort of hands the papers back. As the queen hands it back, you can see like 2 copies or a couple copies of each paper just slides out as she pulls the hand away, and just sort of just pockets it into the little leotard that they're wearing. And just goes, "Well, I have no reason to doubt you, seeming you've took a lot of notes. Let me tell you, utterly terrifying."
Yeah,
But-
there's more.
Oh,
I'm gonna take error out.
Oh, I wasn't even referring to that. No. See, terrifying, danger. That pretty much describes the situation. Even more terrifying is barely anybody knows, which could also be a good thing. But, see, we have been conscripted as, I guess you could say, warriors in an effort to stop these invaders from between the stars.
of course.
Yeah, exactly. He said the thing. They are, I guess, parasitic in nature. They don't have desire. It's a carnal thing. It's nothing you can reason with. Therefore, any attempts to stop them will have to be combative. What they seek to do is reproduce, assimilate, take whatever genetic information, whatever world they stumble upon has, make it their own, and eliminate and replace. That is the fate of this world, if nothing is done to stop this. Everything will cease, and only they will exist. And then who knows, off to the next world. That's why I prefaced this information with, do you care if the world ends?
Do you have the identity of this world-eating organization?
It's not an organization, as far as I know. We don't know its name. We don't even know where it comes from. It's beyond our capacity to know, really. It's from very far away.
It's also ancient. Something we think the first fire was trying to destroy.
We also have some slight evidence that the first fire is still around. Or at least a few of them.
That sounds juicy.
I'll
Tell me.
show. Oh yeah, go ahead.
During our journeys from continent to continent a couple times now, we've encountered this strange phenomena of these animals approaching us, seemingly controlled by some kind of a flower wrapped around their neck, and they speak to us. But it's not the animal speaking, it's somebody else who was warning us multiple times to stop intervening with these invaders. And when we spoke to a very reliable source, we found that these flowers, and speaking through the animals like that, using the flowers, is a signature of, I don't remember her name, a member of the First Fire, a druid, elf woman at some point. So the fact that something that she seemed to have mastered is still around, and it's an agenda that the First Fire had something to do with, it leads me to believe that they might have something to do with this.
The sort of just jovial and mischievous nature of the queen almost has entirely faded at this point and is just deep, neutral contemplation. Queen sort of just looks up at you all and just goes, the whole Rexun thing really wasn't the biggest thing on your plate, was it?
Not even close. It's heavy, isn't it, this burden we carry?
Roxan's.
Praise us. Our soldiers are so strong from all the shit we carry.
I mean, the Ruxins do have big implications with relationships around the world, but when it comes to the bigger scale of things, this is what we're mostly focused on.
Yeah, he really wasn't on our radar too much till tonight.
Everyone make persuasion checks.
Well, it ain't me.
It's me.
Oof.
Well, not going to be convinced by that.
How the least charismatic person in the group roll eyes? That sucks.
The dice have spoken. We're full of shit.
Queen sort of just looks and looks at the papers the copies that they made, and still pockets it. Looks to all your faces and just goes, ideal information. I talk a lot. This seems far above my head. I don't say that often. I can't promise anything. But if I find anything regarding these amorphous beings that wish to consume the world, I'll let you know.
Well, be on the lookout for black spires then. Kind of onyx crystals sticking out of the ground. And also don't touch them, they will kill you.
Perfectly rectangular. Looks like it's made of glass.
Yes.
Obelisks.
Hmm.
We call them anchors.
You've seen one?
Heard of them.
From?
Sources.
Fair enough.
Mostly travelers.
They are scattered around the world in kind of mostly obscure places, but I think they can be easily encountered, but they're dangerous. They kind of corrupt things around them.
I have looked through my records to see if I can find exactly where I heard of these before. It sounds familiar.
I have more evidence, but we'll have to wait a day. One particular evidence is something that may be related to these otherworldly beings, and then I'll take out error, and I'll show error.
Error just like pops out of the bag, just rotating, looks over to the queen. Oh. Queen sort of just picks it up, error, and just looks it over, looking down the lens. The error sort of just vibrates and shudders a little bit and just goes, friend? The queen sort of just gives it back to you. Adorable little thing.
You don't have to lie.
Oh, he is adorable.
He's not.
Discourse, argument, I like it. There's, I've seen something like this before. Once. Dead. Pieces. Nothing I really put much mind to. There's a fly in my room.
These beings do seem to possess technology beyond our reckoning. We encountered constructs that are similar to this one. However, they were all openly hostile. This one is not, which is strange.
And what's stranger is that the records I have, the whispers that tickled my ear in times past, says that these things are completely harmless.
Well, as of so far, this one has been.
Not far from here. Well, I say not far. Thane's a big place. There's a few records of frostwalkers from Teague, occasionally to get sent north of the mountains, through the Spectre Pass, if they can survive, just to scout the area north. No settlements exists, at least none of the civilized world. But there's whispers of things in the shadows, deep in the snow, that look human but aren't. Metal beings. Maybe might be worth a look if you're going to continue down this little heroic path of yours.
This is actually where this little guy wanted to go. Somewhere in that direction.
And air sort of rotates in your hands, roughly north. Home.
Looks like we've hit it on the mark then.
Maybe so, baby.
This is simply one piece of the puzzle.
And like I said, I talk a lot. I listen. I usually listen to whispers about people, organizations. I do believe you. I just don't know how much I can help.
You can start with having us not be killed. That would be great.
We only ask that you do believe, which is, so one person believing helps, or one extra. I should
Sound like
say.
you were trying to recruit me into a cult there, Chris.
No, we tried that angle already. It doesn't work.
Just believe in the chaos.
What if we give the courtesan queen that iPhone we have?
The first and only, social media blogger in the world.
Who better?
Well, that was enlightening as it was terrifying. I suppose I did ask for that, didn't I?
We're still trying to figure it out as we go as well. If we had all the answers, I'm sure this problem would have long passed by now.
Oh. I suppose this is one way I could help. As the queen sort of makes a circle and then blows a kiss through it. At which point, it's like a physical kiss. Like you can see it hover through the air and it goes into the circle and then a bunch of coin pouches start shooting out of it. Consider this my contribution to the cause.
Right, so I'm guessing we just grab the pouches then?
Yeah, if you want to. You look inside, it's filled with gold coins.
How much exactly?
Taking the time to count, You count. It takes a while. It's roughly about 10,000 gold.
Frankly, I'd like to stay on your good side, so I'm gonna give back 2,000.
Oh, returning and recycling my gift to me? You shouldn't have. Takes the gold anyway.
Yeah. All right, so is that 10,000 each or?
It's 10,000
10
total.
Oh, in that case, that's
So
not
it's
my
8,000
decision to
now.
make. Wait, that's not my decision to make. I thought it was 10,000 each.
I mean, if anything, we can break it up in fourths, and then you have 2,500 to do with what you want with it.
Oh, true. Okay. In that case, 2,500 or 25,000, right? No, 2,500. I'm gonna give 500 back then.
Even better, Riley.
All right. I am now back at what I started at.
Well, secrets were had, secrets were paid for, secrets were bought. I think my quality of life has dropped since our meeting, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're trying to fix that. Help people out and have their quality of life increased, but the existential dread will pass when everything gets sorted out. This is temporary if we make it through it.
Yeah, as the queen begins to make their way to the door which you exited or entered from originally, just peeks one head through, gives you like a crossed finger symbol, and just goes, "Fingers crossed we don't all die then, huh?"
Yeah, that's the goal.
With just one sort of eyebrow flare later, and this mischievous smile. "Good luck, Zodiacs. Sounds like you're gonna need it, baby." Closes the door. Queen's gone.
Sneaky as they are, I kind of like them.
Yeah, as you are left to the devices in the Rexun family house of business in the waiting room, counting the money, dividing it amongst yourselves. Yeah, we'll take a break there.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, as the queen, the courtesan queen, leaves with a very emphatic "good luck, GG gamer." Yeah, you are left to your own devices in the waiting room. Very nice, warm waiting room, which, one side of it is a an old guy and his son. I guess I can technically send these out. I forgot about this. Hold on. Yuck. For funny reference later. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Well, let's see if we even can to begin with.
Do you want to do anything with that warehouse?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I mean, we can't just sit by and let them get sold into slavery, right?
We should probably do that last. Since
Yeah.
As soon as that pops off, we probably need to leave.
Yeah. So, in between, wait for your contact then. Also, I'm going to turn to Answin. Yeah. So about the whole thing there. Everything we just said was true.
Have we not told Homegirl any of this yet?
Not even a peep yet.
Whoopsie.
Riley, make a persuasion check. Okay. Uh, so Anzwin doesn't break into a blind panic. Yeah, but you see the breathing she has speeds up a little bit, quickens a little bit. But eventually she gathers herself and just eventually goes, well, if you all fail in your quest, I'd still like to see more of the world before I die.
Well, that won't be a problem. We got
That's
plenty of
the
places to go.
I died once already. It's old hat.
Yeah, this time just don't leave with any regrets, alright?
Right. I'll either see the world or I'll be dead.
That's the spirit.
Right? I'm assuming you're all leaving.
Yeah.
All right. As you all leave, that same half-elf woman has just been waiting there the whole time. The moment you leave, you're just like ushers ahead one direction and just starts walking that direction. It's not the same direction you were walking, or that you came from. It's the exact opposite direction. Seemingly walking further into the house. Yeah, just following the just normal, innocuous hallways. It still has that weird, long, drawn-out, far too big feeling that it's not nauseating, it's not really invasive, it's just strange. And you see all these photos or these paintings of this guy in various suits, various clothings, various hairstyles, and just all these artifacts of history, really, just like swords. You see a couple of like jewelries, like crowns that look in pristine condition with like gemstones embedded in them. Just all these treasures, and then you see bones and stuff, and this gets macabre, and it's just this looping, endless that until eventually, after what feels like 5-10 minutes, you arrive back at that staircase, where you're just led to the front door, and yeah, more or less just kicked out. Not literally, but once you pass the threshold of the door just closes on you. And the guards outside begin to escort you to the gate. Where once you cross the threshold of the gates close on you. And you are now left in this frigid and cold exterior of the house, but interior of the greater city of Lipad. It smells not great. It smells not as good. It's not as warm. Kind of miserable out here now.
Where do we go eat?
What'd you say?
Where do we go wait? Sorry, it all just hit me at once.
Are there any parts of the city we haven't really been to yet?
You've more or less visited all of them. The ones you spent the most time in were Smuggler Hearth, where you found the piss pit via Rickard Rollins, and 2, that's where the silver winter warehouse is. The second one you'd visited probably the most was Brewer Barrack, which is where the upper echelon is. Beyond that, other than the House of Business, you've only just more or less passed, just glancing, visiting, really.
Do you guys, the Gunrunner's Rest, that's where the guns are made, right?
Yeah, that's
Or
what
like-
Rickard told you that someone as someone took over the operation to make weapons and started producing guns.
Do you guys want to go buy Answin a gun?
Well, maybe we should ask Answin if she wants a gun first.
Didn't we do this last time?
Yeah, we brought it up last time. I don't know if she said she wanted a gun or not.
I feel like she's got knives. Answen, how do you feel?
As long as I'm not paying for it.
How much could
Would
a
it make
gun
you feel
cost?
safer?
50-50. I mean, maybe. There's also a chance I might blow my head off.
I know, that's what I'm worried about that. I think I said this last time too. Real life Josie has issues of knowing that owning a gun severely increases your likelihood of accidents and like dying
Yeah.
by a considerable amount. But I get that this is fantasy world.
And he's
There-
with like a single shot muzzle loading rifle.
How common are
Yeah.
guns?
In this world? Not yet.
You know what? Yeah.
It's
no.
not America.
Yeah, I'd say if guns aren't common, that's not going to be top of mind. It's be like, those things won't do you good in a fight. We're going to keep training you on knives.
Yeah, the only
And
real
bows
like
and
concentration
arrows.
yeah, more or less. That's still like the primary weapon is like the old stuff. The only ones that have any concentration is pretty much anywhere in Altus.
Yeah. I think that fits more thematically. Not to be poo-pooing the idea, but
There's newfangled gun technologies. It's just a fad.
yeah, those won't catch on.
I'll follow the wisdom of the group.
Look at Chris.
Well-
he's the only one with a gun. Do you want to be like Chris?
I don't want a
Three-
gun anymore.
3 guns.
3 guns.
The more guns you have, the more you become like Chris.
That's just science.
Strange. I suddenly don't feel the need to have a gun.
No, there's some good guns in Zilnia if you want some.
I think I've said this vaguely before, but I'm assuming like as we travel and as we do things, like we are having some like times to go off of like Answin and Jana just like quote unquote training, you know, like
Yeah, like when you have some spare moments, yeah.
mhm.
When no specific actions are decided, sure. Ansel's getting pretty alright.
She's
Not
level
gonna-
2 now.
Not even. I mean, like, she's not going to go, you know, she's not going to be going around doming goblins with throwing knives, but, you know, she's like, compared to like an average person who like farms for a living, like she's above average.
Have we done this before where does she have like a Pokemon like experience share where like we get into one fight and she stands on the edge and she goes from like level 1 to like level 9 in a single game after a single fight.
You go kill the final boss, you come to Ansel and she's like ripped as hell. Ripped as hell, and she's like, I know Kung Fu.
It's like, how did this happen? I was just watching.
The meat patty known as Anselin. Formerly known as Anselin. You gotta go to gun run of rest or
I mean,
time
I have
is
nothing
it?
else to go for.
you've been in there roughly like an hour or so it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't have anything to refresh, I don't think.
I need lots of my spells back. I sent a lot of messages today.
Yeah, you guys haven't had a long rest in like 2 sessions.
I was gonna say like we haven't had a combat in a while, and that's because the last combat almost was a TPK.
Yes, it was.
We can go power nap if Riley needs it, because elves don't need. Does Zero need to sleep?
Not really. I'm out of a couple spell slots, but I have everything else that I need. So if you guys want to go take long rests, I'll probably spend that. Cause is it just the elves that need to rest?
Yeah,
I don't really
Jordan
need
doesn't.
to. I'm just missing a lot of spell slots, is all.
I'd like to rest on the roof of some place.
and head back to the piss pit. Take a nap on the roof, on the roof of the piss pit.
You can go in the bottom too.
Because either way, if you guys want to take that long rest, I'll probably just be exploring the city for a while by myself. There's somebody I'm looking for that is not gonna just be, chilling out by name. I'm probably gonna have to hunt him down if he's even here. But
Did you want to go alone? Because Jana's not doing anything.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to come or not. I don't really mind. I'm just gonna be sneaking around the city.
I don't really trust splitting up here, so I'll just come along anyway.
Yeah,
No,
especially
get your long rest.
Oh, absolutely not.
How about
Not in this city.
I'll take a rest.
All right. Well, don't
You
be.
guys,
You know
I
what,
was gonna-
Chris? Give me your coin pouch.
Oh no, I'm going on the roof.
I don't think that's going to change anything.
I was gonna
In
leave-
my mansion.
I was gonna
Oh,
leave
never
Answin
mind.
with you guys, so if anything were to happen, she just wakes you guys up. I still have a link with her, or everyone. We all are in the group chat. And
Yeah,
then-
the city's small enough. I think we could. Not like I think we could get back to the piss pit with enough time that we could
Yeah.
probably be okay.
I think as long as nobody goes off one by one, that's the issue.
True. Buddy system works best. Well, if Chris is insistent on doing it, I may as well stick around with him and make sure nothing bad happens.
You can go
Yeah.
on the roof. You can put up a hut, and then
Oh,
I can
that's true.
Oh yeah, just put
Put
Answin
a-
in the hut then.
magnificent
Yeah.
mansion.
She'll
It'll be
safe.
nice
Oh yeah, do the mansion.
regulated.
That'd be better.
Yeah, y'all have so many countermeasures for sleep. Like it's not even.
Can we, dudes, does the group chat work through like all like the tiny hut, the mansion, like the layers and layers of stuff?
Let me check actually.
I think sending has a 5% chance to not work if you're in a different dimension.
Laying rock.
Oh, because y'all are doing Magnificent Mansion inside the tiny hut, right?
Yeah.
But the tiny hut isn't a separate dimension. But yeah, magic actually can't go through it, can it?
No, not technically.
Oof.
That's
But
okay.
if we were in the mansion, would that count? Would it have to go through the hut and then the mansion, or would it go through the mansion directly to the other place and skip over the tiny hut? Because it's a different dimension. Or would it travel through the hut to get through the entrance of the mansion and then wiggle its way through there somehow with a 5% chance of failure?
I'll say that because that's a good question. I'll say that because the only entrance and only place that mansion exists in that instance is inside the hut, that everything would have to go through the hut,
Okay.
or at least it would block pretty much any connection inside or outside of the hut, because the mansion door is the only instance of that dimension anywhere.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that being said, the mansion, only people that Chris can designate can go in the mansion. Everyone else, it's a locked fucking door. Yeah, and I'll say the Relaying Rocks has that same 5% chance as well. That's a solid point. I didn't even think about that. All right, so splitting up the party then. The elves and Antoine going
Oh,
to
the elves.
Yeah, Antoine's is I think a half elf, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Elf pointy ears going to go naps,
Pretty much.
and Jana and Zero are gonna go explore the city.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
On a
I'll
hunt.
use.
If you're looking
Oh,
for
you-
someone, I was really thinking Jana, because Ranger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so start with Team Elves first. As you split off, Elf crew in tow. You going to the piss pit?
Yeah, where do you want to set up shop?
Go somewhere that's not going to draw a lot of attention if you're putting up tiny hut.
Are there
Yeah.
guards on top of the Rexun palace?
Oh my god.
Brandon,
I'm vetoing that decision.
On the roof itself, it is a shingle triangular roof, so no, technically. That being said, there are guards. It's like one of the only few places that are guarded in the city other than like individual businesses.
Um. Yeah, we'll just go. Or what about the upper echelon?
I want to spend 700 years looking over their terms and conditions. I've got better things to do.
I mean, going on the roof.
I don't think they would enjoy that. And then we'd have more terms and conditions.
Why do you need to be on the roof? Nobody can get into the mansion.
Well, they can get us once we leave it, though.
Which they only do if you go somewhere you're not supposed to be.
Yeah, so going somewhere that is slightly more friendly might be better.
Just go into like an alley or something. Or like the outskirts of town.
You guys could go rent a room at the piss pit and then make the bring the magnificent mansion into the room, so you're not like in the open.
That idea. And when?
I defer to the wisdom of the group. I go where you go. Yeah, Chris, where are you setting up the mansion?
I still think a roof would be better. A better place.
Then an inn.
Maybe the roof of the inn.
It's like dilapidated. Anything we do up there is going to cave it in.
Why are you looking for a roof? What are you up to?
Don't question it.
It's just harder to get to.
He's not wrong, I suppose.
Actually true.
Alright, I'm just gonna start walking in the direction of the piss pit.
Okay. You begin walking. Chris, you following
Yeah.
along or?
Yeah, I'll go
Okay.
over.
As will Antoine. Okay, as you all, make your way through, going through roughly the same path that Rickard followed. Just using the landmarks and what landmarks you remember, at least. The very similar dead bodies that have just been left there. A couple new ones, a couple of just beaten people that are just like bruised and injured, just laying on the ground, just nursing themselves.
Hold on a second. Riley's gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Okay.
He's not gonna like acknowledge them at all. He's just gonna cast it.
Right. Yeah, you find a group brawl where seemingly the people that were not the victors are sort of just left on the ground. It's just freeze. Some of them are just injured, like just beaten. Some of them are like on the verge of death, but with that mass cure wounds, they pretty much all just jump back to life, just immediately healed. They all just look at you, as
He's
you just
gonna
walk
shrug.
by. Yeah. Yeah, as you walk down a couple feet, they make no effort to chase you or come up to you, go like thank you. You just never hear from them, pretty much.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, but eventually you do arrive at the piss pit. You're just outside that shitty, dingy little building. It does not smell good, even comparatively to the rest of the city, which already has this ephemeral odor. The piss pit is something else. You going in or are you going up?
Does the roof look like it'll cave in if we fucking go up there?
It's old. It's moldy, but it's a roof. I'm not sure how. Make an intelligence check.
Sure.
just looking up and just judging from it, it's old. It's dilapidated. You could jump through it if you want to, if you find the right spot. But like as a roof, it's not gonna like collapse the building or anything. Like you could probably walk up there. I think Chris did walk up there a couple times.
Oh.
Yeah, I did go up there.
Well, if you're so sure.
Okay, how you get
Way
up
to
to the
get
roof?
up?
Come on. You have like 16 different ways of getting us up there. Just pick one.
Yeah, I'll just hit use scatter.
Okay, you teleport you yourself, Riley, and Anduin up to the roof. Just land up there with just shearing off a couple of shingles, but they were already loose anyway. No big loss. And someone loses the balance a little bit, but then Anduin steadies herself. Okay, and you summon the mansion.
Yep.
I'll summon
Alright.
the,
Oh well,
the tiny hut. I'll just spend 10 minutes on it.
Okay. How's that, Chris?
yeah, I'll just wait for Riley to put up the hut.
Yeah, as Riley spend the 10 minutes to put up the hut. Anduin's sort of just keeping watch. Nothing seems to happen other than people passing by, which some of them see you, some of them don't. Some entering the pit, some exiting. Yeah, and eventually you do cast Tiny Hut. That dome of force appears.
And we will walk in.
Okay,
And then I cast the mansion.
all right. Cool, it's cast Imagine. This is double shielded layer of protection. Yeah, walk in. It's the same mansion as always. It's nice, it's warm. Merrick is there to feed you and massage your feet after a long day of walking.
Answin, have you been in here yet?
I don't think I have.
Do you recognize this person? And I point to a Merrick.
Yeah, a special Merrick just goes, "How do you do, ma'am? I am here to serve." Answer just looks at you and just goes, "Do you think you could change that? I have a very specific memory of the man, and I feel like this almost feels sacrilegious in a way, like wrong on a very fundamental level."
I'll think about it, but for now we'll just have to deal with 100 of them.
Oh, so that's just a no. Okay, solid no. You could have just told me that.
Brandon putting on his teacher voice. Oh, we'll think about it.
Maybe if you're good, I'll give you a little star.
Well, it'll be nice to be pampered, even if it's by that grumpy old man.
Honestly, I'm kind of numb to it. It's a little bit weird, but whatever.
Just find a room. The dining room's is in the back.
Okay, I'll make myself at home. And as Answin begins to explore, the spectral posse of like 12 Merricks are just hounding her, like, "Can I get you grapes? Would you like soap with your bath?" Okay, as you all find your way to your respective rooms, you have food, real good food, even if it's fake, technically. Yeah, as you begin the process of a long rest, meditating on the day's events. Zero Jano, what you doing?
We tracking someone? We're trying to find someone?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what he looks like.
Do we have like a scent? Something? Anything?
Absolutely not.
A name?
I have a name. That's about it, though. I have the name, and I don't know where to start. I'm kind of like,
How
wanna
discreet
keep-
do we want to be?
I do want to sneak throughout the city, but
Oh, I meant like if we were to ask someone.
um,
Because if you
no,
don't know what they look like, we could we could look right at them and not know.
yeah, that's true. That's a good question. I didn't keep an eye out for any tieflings. I don't know that he's a tiefling, but he might be.
That could kind of be a little discreet if we can ask if there's like any other tieflings here.
Whatever he looks like, he's from Sant. He's familiar with Sant. And that's really all I know about him. I know his name. And I agree that, yeah, if we're looking right at him, he probably won't tell us who he is. So, just keep an eye out, I guess, and try to keep a low profile as much as we can, looking for a specific fucking guy that we have no idea what he looks like.
I don't know if Simon knew of me. Can I just do like a general like ranger
Vibe check?
tracking thing? Yeah, I don't even know if we even have enough to do a check like that.
Using your ranger stuff, I would say this situation's a little bit difficult to
Yeah.
apply because you don't know this guy's whereabouts or like what he looks like or what he's
Yeah.
been doing. Like it's less of like a nature
trail,
tracking something,
right.
yeah, and it's more like an urban how do I like directions, honestly.
Let me see. What are the rules for scrying again? A particular creature that you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. Let me see. Secondhand, you've heard of the target. That's really all I have, I think.
Yeah, so it's like you can choose to scry on somebody, but like the less you know about them, the more likely they'll be to succeed.
Okay. Can I try to scry on him with just the name?
Okay. So you've heard of them. You don't have anything of them.
No, yeah. I think I'd written in the story that, yeah, Zero goes back to the city and does some exploring and finds the name. That's really all we have so far.
Yeah. And using the orb, right?
Yeah.
What's the DC on the orb?
Is that against my Arcane Trickster DC?
No, it's on the orb itself,
It's
like
just
in the
on
description. Yeah, because it's a magical item. That's like that you're using it through, not necessarily casting it yourself.
Gotcha. Give me a second. 17.
Jesus. Okay. 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 Yeah, even with the modifier. Where are you doing this, by the way? I should ask.
Did you say where we're doing it?
Yeah.
Did we just part ways with Riley and Chris when they went in the direction of the piss pit? So we're not actually at the piss pit right now, right?
Yeah, you're more or less. She's currently sitting in the neutral square.
If me and Jana are together, I think I'll kind of like find some more discreet area and just kind of like if there's somewhere I can sit down or at least like rest against and just stand near Jana so she can keep watch for a second and
Yeah, neutral square has a couple of tables and stuff, usually used for meetings, but there's a couple of empty ones just sitting there.
yeah, I'll sit at a table and I'll try to make it discreet. Like I'll keep the orb under the table.
Okay. All right. Jenny, you're keeping watch, or you want to do something else?
Yep, I'll keep watch.
Make a perception check. Okay, keeping a firm watch out. Other than passing people, and past people conversing, wagons being pulled by like very woolly yaks. One dude just has a whole yeti straight up, just pulling on it.
Aw. Sorry.
But yeah, keeping a firm eye out, and no one seems to pay attention.
I
Is-
also, sorry, I was gonna say I have Azek on me too. Can he make a perception check or no?
Sure.
It's a 22.
Okay.
Not like looking for anything in particular, just kind of keeping an eye out for anyone who might look weird around us, coming near us, or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, Azek does see a couple people that pass by that do make note of what you're doing. But with a perception check, I'll say that Azek at some point, yeah, notices that people notice you doing it or doing something at the very least, but they see the very vicious looking gnome and like the giant fucking perch on your shoulder and just go, not worth it, and just continue on. Seem like picking their battles and picking it correctly. Yeah, as you focus on the orb, the sort of golden sphere in the center opens up. Like, what are those fucking things from Harry Potter?
Golden snitch.
Right, yeah, like kind of like that. I didn't even realize I put that together just now. Jesus Christ. It opens up and reveals the unfurling of golden feathers into like owl wings with a central golden eye in the center. As you focus in, all you have of the memory of this man is just the name. You had no connection with him. No history, not in your life, more or less. And you are looking desperately. You know he's probably somewhere in the city, based on what the half-dead dude on the pole told you. But there's just something about it that it's hard to parse through any of the people. There's other people named Vasim. There's other people that have more or less had like a similar story maybe. And it's hard to parse through that. And as the spell begins to fade, it suddenly gets caught by something. And in a voice that's not really familiar to you. Sort of airy in a way. Male sounding. So just hearing your brain. Let me help you with that. As your vision begins to just shift immediately. Not of your own volition. It just gets jammed into a crevice into the city. And you find your vision in an alley. A very similar looking alley. As you walk through, you see people very much like the figure you're focusing on right now. You see huddled in a very scavenged looking, a dirty, bloodied even, woolen blanket, just fetal position up against the wall in an alley, is an older human man, deeply tanned skin, with a very short black hair with a widow's peak, sharp nose, round face, light hazel eyes, fairly thin, almost unhealthily gaunt, and is just currently dressed in the one blanket and just what you can tell from underneath it. Just warm clothes that look very mismatched. The man's currently sleeping. Just up against a wall somewhere in an alley.
I see. That is concerning. That voice. That was weird. That was weird. Okay. He's just sleeping.
Yep. Sleeping. There's people passing by, but he's more or less just another roadblock for him to pass by.
Dang. Okay. Can I tell anything about like can I get like a Google Street View? Can I like scan around and see what area he's kind of in somewhat?
Yeah, I'm trying to make note of the area around the surrounding landmarks, if anything you can see, just judging. Like you can see the, you know where the giant pillar is. You're right in front of it, and you're trying to just judge if you can see from there. You can't really, but you make note as best you can. It's a very nondescript looking alley.
Okay, I guess I'll wait for the scrying to end, and then I'll tell Jana afterwards.
Yep, and the trying does end. You're just sleeping.
Okay. I guess once it's ended, I will kind of find a nearby alley in eyeshot that looks, relatively empty, and I'm gonna just kind of nod my head in the direction so Jana can follow me.
Okay.
And I will head to the alley.
All right. Yep, you head to the alley, and Janice staggers behind, meeting in the quiet space of the alley.
Okay, and if we're in the privacy of the alley now, I'm gonna cast Silent Image, and I want to show Jana what I saw, the man sleeping.
All right. As you cast the image, human man, very tan skin, widow's peak, sharp nose, round face, very thin, and just dressed more or less like a homeless person. Just mismatched clothes. They look warm enough, at least, and a bloodied green blanket.
So he is still here.
It seems that way. It looks like he's here. It's hard to tell.
Do you want me to go poke him?
I mean, we have to find him first.
Wait. I'm confused. Are we looking at him? Are we just in the alley?
Oh, I was scrying on him and I saw a vision of him. I don't know if he's in the city, but I cast Silent Image so I could show you what he looks like, but it's an illusion.
Oh,
so
I see. I thought for a minute you were showing me, like, yeah, the alley's over here.
No,
Look,
no.
here he is. And I'm like, what's the... Okay. I
Sorry.
didn't realize what you were doing. Okay,
No,
Silent
you're
Image.
sorry. So now we
I
have
took a good
something to look for.
Can I really try to look, like, the best I can? Because is it just him? Or, like, do I see any of the surroundings as well?
It depends if I can I just take a fucking screenshot from the scry and show Jana, or does it just have to be an image of just the dude?
I guess.
No, what's your call?
I'm gonna look at the. Sure. I don't feel like looking up spell descriptions right now.
No, you create the image of an object, creature, or some other visible phenomenon that is no larger than a 15 feet cube.
Visible phenomena, I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I will show Janet the screenshot.
Then I'm gonna try to, like, really examine that, like, environment details to see if there's anything I can use later.
Yeah, you try to make use of the screenshot as best you can, memorizing any details, any like markings. You're pretty good at memorizing and like finding locations, or at least using the clues in the environment to do so.
Is there, like a... I don't really know if there's anything to turn. Imagine it's like the people that are like really good at GeoGuessr, where it's like, I see a phone number in the background. I know exactly what this is.
Based on the angle of the sun and the fucking coastline, I know. Yeah.
Based on the composition of the sand, I know we're somewhere in the Caribbean. How good's your GeoGuessr, Josie?
Is a check?
Make a somebody survival. Make a actually both of you make either perception, survival, or investigation checks. Your choice.
But
What's my investigation? And not that great. No.
can Isaac make a perception check from the sky? This is not me trying to get more rolls. I was gonna send him up above to kind of scan the area while we walk.
Sure.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. He got a 19.
Okay. Cool. Make a stealth check for Isaac.
Oh, what is his dexterity? Give me 1 second. That is +1. Oh,
Okay.
it's 21.
All right. Okay. It does take you a while, better part of an hour or so. But with the combined efforts of all three of you, it begins with just wandering, just blindly, more or less, just looking at in random alleyways. And Zero, as you're sort of investigating, are you asking people at all, or just doing your own thing?
No, I'm just walking, looking.
Yeah. As you're looking for it, you begin to see elements that look kind of similar to the image you have in your head. The texture of the ice is a little bit different here. The buildings are dilapidated in roughly the same way. Janny, you begin picking up now that you're roughly in the same area, you begin to track down roughly where a single person might necessarily be. You begin to use your knowledge of like what places seem the warmest to sleep in. Where would one necessarily like keep out of eye shot if they're trying to go to sleep? Using this knowledge, you begin to narrow down your field of search. At which point, Azek, flying high above, begins to circle and is just trying to spot anyone just sleeping in the alleyway, using descriptions from both you and Jana as a sort of guideline. About an hour of searching passes where you travel quite a ways up here. Eventually, Azek, in your brain, you just hear, there. As Azek begins to sort of subtly guide you, just going from building to building and then just flying into alleyways, just guiding you through this network, the arteries of the crime city you are in, until everything eventually, like a puzzle piece, eventually just lining up in your mind. The image you had in your vision and the image in reality merged into one, as you see, standing the exact same spot where you were, you see, looking down on the ground, older human man in a bloodied blanket just sleeping on the ground.
Huh.
Do you want me to poke him?
No, I'm trying to think. We're a pretty far ways away from the piss pit, right?
Good amount, yeah.
Did they have food? Did they offer food at the piss pit?
You don't know.
Oh, right, okay. I don't want to question him here because we're just out in the open and we're still separated from the group. So I think I'm not gonna kick him, but I'm gonna like take my foot and just like bump his knee or something a little bit with it. Just disturb his sleep for a moment and just nudge him with my foot to wake him up.
Okay. Yeah, as you sort of nudge him, he sort of jolts awake, almost violently. Like he jumps like an inch off the ground. As he sort of looks up at you with the eyes. You didn't see his eyes before. He's sort of sleeping. He looks human, but as he sort of looks up at you, you can see that his eyes look very, almost reptilian. Like they're the like the sclera and the cells are black, and he has a yellow slit pupil down the center. It's not unlike eyes you've seen on some tieflings around in town.
But he has no other like markings of a tiefling. Like he looks like straight human.
Yeah, more or less.
I guess after I nudge him and he wakes up, I will just say, "Oh fuck, I don't know what to say." I will just ask him, to come with us. I can provide a meal for him if he likes. Like,
Yeah,
my
as
voice
you-
is very flat as I say it. I'm not trying to be inviting. I'm just trying to get him to fucking move.
As he sort of looks up at you with a mixture of like shock and slight fear. As but you mentioned food, and he just sort of just goes, "Are you hiring my services?"
Possibly. Let's discuss. Just come with us.
Okay. He sort of just gets up, the blanket still around him, as you begin to lead him to the piss pit.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Okay. As you're sort of leading him back towards the piss pit, trying to memorize the layout. He's sort of following behind, but like at a distance, like a solid 3, 4, 5 feet away from you. Not shoulder to shoulder. He's keeping a wide berth. As partway through walking, he sort of just breaks his silence. So, what is the nature of the assignment?
We'll discuss it when we get there. What are your talents?
My talents are many. I have great skill with writing. I can read. I can forge documents. I've a great deal of many talents.
What's your name?
Vosem.
Interesting. We'll discuss further when we get there.
I'll have you know I'm not cheap. I expect fair payment.
Of course you do.
My talents are in great demand.
Can I try to insight check that?
Make an insight check. You can't be certain, but you there's something not right about that statement. Okay. Yeah, but eventually you do make your way back to the piss pit, where looking up, there's a bubble on the top of the roof, and a door. Actually, you wouldn't even see it. It's just a bubble on the roof. It's opaque.
What color is the tiny hut?
Solid question. What color is a tiny hut, Riley?
It's gonna blend in with the boards.
All right, yeah, so like a brown, like a light brown.
Okay.
Just this boil on top of the roof. Honestly, with the condition of this building, it wouldn't be surprising if this building somehow grew a boil.
Ew.
Yeah, you make your way into the piss pit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, as the man just finds a seat. What you doing?
I will head to there's a bar, like with a woman at the bar, right?
Yeah.
I will just walk over there and just softly ask her, do you happen to have any food here?
Yeah, you see an older gnomish woman, orange hair that is faded over years, seemingly just kept wild, dirty around the middle back. You know she has one blue eye and one green eye, and a tattoo on her face in the image of a rose, and is just wearing this dress that looks like it used to be white, but it's just been stained yellow over years and years and years of use with no washing. You ask for food?
Yes.
Okay, you ask if there's anything to eat. You just hear, "What are you looking for? We got good or we got bad?"
Good, I guess.
Good. That'll be grilled mammoth. Just coughs like a puff of smoke into your face directly. Yeah, she just literally goes underneath the counter and just pulls out a plate of undescribed meat. It just looks like a slice of meat. Like it looks cooked. She pulled that off from under the counter and just put it on in front of you. That'll be 2 gold pieces.
2 gold pieces? Oh, sorry, that was out of character.
Oh, sorry, 2 copper pieces. My eyes haven't been good for the last couple years.
I will give her the 2. I'll give her I was talking shit a second ago. I'll give her 1 gold for it, and then I will just grab. I'll ask her. Can I get a couple of them, please?
How many more? 2 more? 3 more?
2 more. 3 total.
2 more. And just pulls out 2 more plates of the biggest quotations grilled mammoth. I just put it in front of you. You pay a gold.
Yeah, just hand her a gold.
All right.
And I will bring that over to him at the table. Does she have a? I mean, I assume she sells ale and shit here too, right?
Oh yeah.
Sure, I'll get him a cheap beer.
Yep. Yeah, she literally grabs one. She finds a dude that's like at another table that's drunk and passed out, and just takes his ale and puts it on your table.
Okay, that works. I just nod at her appreciatively, and then I go present the meal to this man. I just sit in front of him. I sit it down in front of him, then I'll sit like across the table from him.
Yeah, Jenna, what you doing?
I guess just being like tough bodyguard nearby. I'm trying to like be there in case something happens, but also like giving them space.
All
I
right.
mean, we're safe by now. You can, if you want to head up to Anselin, you're welcome to do that too. He's not gonna do shit to me.
Yeah, also I'm nosy.
Okay. That works.
At the moment you put food in front of him, he just there's utensils. He doesn't use them. He just grabs it. You can see his hands are like covered in like this grime or dirt like underneath his fingernails. His fingernails have grown out far too long, and he's just eating this slice of meat that looks and felt cold. It's cooked, almost too much. Like it looks like he's grabbing by his hands and like having to like pull on it like with his teeth to like break off any piece of meat off this quote unquote grilled mammoth. He gets like 3 bites in before he looks at you and sort of just just wipes off his mouth and sort of puts on this decorum of professionalism, like greasy hands on like clasped together on the table. He looks like a mess. So what is this assignment, this job? How much are you paying?
How much you asking?
It depends on the assignment. I charge different rates depending on what is required.
Forgery.
That will be quite as fine paper and ink. That will be 100 gold pieces.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll even take out the 100 gold and I'll put it on the table in front of us.
He as you put it on the table, he's reaching for it but like faking out a little bit as if like, are you gonna take it back or
I'll put it on the table and then I will just pick it up with my hand if possible, like it's just a pouch of gold, and I will hold it there and just kind of look at it for a second and ask him, tell me a bit about yourself. Are you from around here? How long have you been here?
I have been in the business for a long time. I am very successful. You can ask Gerard. He's my best customer. I'm a fine forger. I'm fine. I can read. That is a skill that is sorely lacking among these populace.
How long have you been in Lipat?
I don't see how that is relevant to the assignment.
I will take out an additional 50 gold and put it on the table. Not on the table, just in my hand with the 100. Trying to persuade him to tell me.
Right. How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah, 0.
Zero's like 22, 23.
Okay. Yeah. So
How old are you?
Yeah, how old are you? So he sort of, as you put the 50 gold, he's like almost without a break, he just goes, closer to decades.
Where are you from?
That is, it'll be more than 50 gold for that.
I want to just lock eyes with him and I want to try to intimidate him.
Make an intimidation check.
Pretty good.
He just goes, I'm from Sant originally. I traveled here for work.
Interesting. Work, you say? Not everyone really, not a lot of people I would imagine really end up in Lipat due to, good fortune or opportunity. Seems like everyone ends up here as a last resort.
He sort of just takes one more bite of his grilled mammoth. You can't see I'm doing air quotes. As he just finished chewing on that, he just sort of just looks down his plate. I was not given what I was deserved in my home.
And what's that? What did you deserve?
What do you need me to forge? I don't see how any of this is relevant to anything.
I hope you can understand this is, being in the crime world, it's hard to trust anybody. So I just want to exchange a little information, get to know each other before I work with you. I'll give you the money either way, whether or not I hire you. But, and I will happily roll a deception check if you want me to.
Make a deception check. You're not going to give him the money?
I mean, he thinks I'm going to hire him. I'm going to give him the money. I'm not going to I don't need shit from him.
He sort of just looks at the money, the 150 gold you already have on the table, and he just goes, so this money's mine either way.
Yeah. I'll use Mage Hand to push it towards him.
The money just slides towards him. He sort of just backs up like a foot. I had an inheritance. I made a deal, it didn't pan out.
What kind of deal?
Make a roll here. Nope, I don't know we should. He sort of just goes, I was promised by a cult, suppose, that if I drank this serum, they gave me that everything that I would have earned, acquired, would be mine. I drank it. There's no question, I drank it. And all I got were nightmares and screams at night. Just like someone else is peering out of my own head. And then it seems the bribes I offered to find this information weren't enough, and all my assets were seized. So yes, this is why I'm here. Are you happy now?
Somewhat. What did he say that the cult promised him everything he wanted?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pry deeper into that. I'll just ask him, what else did you want? Not just money. It's never just money. Money buys things. What were you trying to get?
Make a persuasion check. He sort of just looks at you. Like he's about to leave, and he looks at the money and he sort of just seats himself back in. There was a family. A noble one. It was one that had connections to their faith. I was promised my inheritance if I was married into it, had a child. I never got it. So not only did I want my inheritance, I wanted that family dead. For denying me my birthright. For forcing my family down so low.
And here you are now, huh?
Yes, what's this job?
I'm just gonna like twiddle my thumbs for a second while I think. I'm not gonna lie to him or say anything. I'm just gonna pause there for a second and kind of not pay attention to him. Can you tell me about this cult?
Make another roll.
I'm gonna intimidate him.
Like he looks very uncomfortable. He was looking uncomfortable to begin with, but now you can see he's actually starting to sweat. And he sort of just goes, looks at the money, looks to you, and at this point he's ignoring the money, just goes, "You're never gonna hire me, were you?"
I just shrug. You were saying about the cult?
There were tieflings. They're all white. They brought me to a portal in a cave, and he told me that that the Prince of Night would grant me everything if I drank the serum. I don't know much about that afterwards. They just said I did my duty and then they left. I was escorted back and then I never saw them again.
How did you find them in the first place?
I bribed the Curacao Dogma member that any rifts that the devils, fiends, want to make a deal with. He took the money and then he told me there's heresy in my house. Raided it, and then I nearly escaped and they burned my house.
And do you know the fate of your family that robbed you of your fortune?
No, I don't care.
Who else in the who else in the piss pit right now, other than Jana and the bartender?
The Jana, the bartender, and like the drunk guy that's unconscious. That's pretty much it.
Okay. I'll keep digging a little bit more. Do you recall the name of the Pure Soul Dogma member that helped you?
No. The whole point was I don't keep in contact with him. Seemingly that it didn't matter to him.
You don't remember the name of the guy that burned your house down?
No.
I see.
He didn't make introductions.
Tell me about this family you had.
Just marriage my mother made. She's pretty enough. It's more important things.
What do I have that won't kill him? Let me see. Okay. I'm not gonna do anything just yet. I will take out another gold coin and I'm just gonna kind of like twirl it between my fingers and just, I want to try to be a little menacing. I want to continue to intimidate him. And, I'm gonna ask him, what was her name? The woman.
Essa.
And the child? I'm gonna lock eyes with him really hard.
Zeradia.
And they're dead, you say?
I don't know. I thought they'd be. But clearly, there's more than one lie going around.
Clearly.
Who are you? Why are you asking these questions?
Can I do a thing? Can I do a thing? Okay, so I've talked to you about this before, about using Eldritch Blast, but not killing somebody with it, just marking somebody with it. Is that something I can do now, or try to do?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, good.
I was just gonna say, I want to stand up and like push the table to the left or to the right, whatever the fuck, knock it out of the way. And I want to grab him by the collar of his fucking dirty piss robe and throw him against the nearest wall that I can with his back to the wall. And I want to put a mark across his face using Eldritch Blast.
Okay. As you sort of throw across the table, using one hand to pin him against the wall and just firmly press the palm of your hand into his face, and you just focus a beam of arcane magical energy as you can see the visible smoke coming off of his face as he just begins to scream bloody murder. Okay. As you pull your hand away, what mark do you leave?
I want to make 2 big lines across his face, making an X from corner to
yeah.
corner.
Hell yeah.
Okay. As you leave the mark of an X across his cheek, the wound bled for a little bit, but it was cauterized almost immediately by your magic. As you see tears are beginning to stream down his face, as he's just touching the now newly formed, fresh, burning brand on his face. You hear footsteps from behind you, from the stairs behind you. As you sort of look backwards, you see a tiefling.
Oh no.
Purple skin,
No.
hair shaved on one side, long on the other. Just dressed in furs, followed by a posse of 3 other tieflings of varying color. One of them was the green one that you saw earlier. And your friend's just staring at you, mouth agape. Janna, you see a very familiar face. Different haircut, but no mistake, that is a character in both of your histories, Saleth, witnessing the branding of your father. And we will pick it up from there next time.
Ooh, ominous.
I might need a recap with the history of Zero's father.
Simon knows more about it than I do.
I don't believe that.
Wait, how does it connect with Janna?
Saleth was part of Janna's backstory?
Have we not discussed this in game?
No!
I guess we
Oh.
haven't, no.
I thought we did. Well, I
Janna
guess we'll
was
find out next time.
Find out next time. Find next time, not important. Don't worry about it.
Next, you're gonna tell me Saleth is part of Riley's backstory too, and I just had no idea.
Riley, see it? That tiefling looks very, very vaguely familiar. Chris, that tiefling also looks vaguely familiar.
Oh, I know why. I sent a message.